It's finally Friday, May 29th.
A partnership with a different Canada, a stronger Canada, a more confident Canada.
A strong pitch from our Prime Minister, but will it change Canada's relationship with the U.S.?
What we're very excited about is the expansion of primary care, integrated team-based care to reach our goal where every Saskatchewan person will have access to a primary care team by 2028.
The Saskatchewan Health Authority approved its budgets for the upcoming year. An engine test that didn't go as planned for Blue Origin. No one injured after its Glen rocket exploded. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to your morning, Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl Rummels.
You want to say your last name today.
Hello, here we are.
And I am Kayleen Sawatsky.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us on your Friday.
All right, here we are. It was hot yesterday. My car registered 38 degrees, which was not entirely accurate, but hot.
Not entirely, yeah. So the hottest one that Environment Canada is saying right now, 37.5 in Nipawin, if you can believe it.
So you and Janelle are not riding your bikes out of my office?
No, the bikes will be
soon.
staying in your office this weekend, yeah.
All right, whatever. It's cool. 6:01, it's the weekend. Let's get to your headlines. Federal officials say this year's wildfire season got off to a slower start than in 2025, but the risk remains high, with most of our province now under high to extreme fire danger. Stacey Hine reports.
This is the Lobstick Fire. The RM of Duck Lake Reeve says the fire started Tuesday afternoon in the provincial forest north of the community and quickly spread.
It's amazing how quickly things change. May long weekend, we had 1.5 inches of moisture, a mixture of rain and snow. And 7 days later, we've got wildfires burning in the RM now.
He says 6 homes are threatened by the fire, with some families evacuated and others on standby. With the current conditions and thunderstorm risks, he says he's concerned more fires could also start. For the northern community of Beauval, it's a reminder of last year's wildfire season.
We got our first smell of smoke last night, which originated from Prince Albert Duck Lake. So that put our hairs in the back of our head standing up again.
The mayor says preparing for another wildfire season and equipping local firefighters has been a challenge.
This is the burnt out section that came in last summer, so the threat is real, but preparing ourselves and equipping ourselves is, I guess, the challenge right now.
The concerns come as most of Saskatchewan is currently under high to extreme fire danger. The federal emergency management minister says above normal temperatures are forecasted across much of the country over the next 3 months and is urging the public to be prepared.
We know that situation can change rapidly, and that's why preparedness matters in every jurisdiction and in every community.
The federal government says it's prepared for the wildfire season, adding it has leased 10 new aircraft to help with firefighting efforts. In Saskatchewan, several fire bans are in effect, and as of 4:30 Thursday afternoon, there are 5 active wildfires. 2 of them are not contained. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Other news this morning, the city of Regina is taking a concrete look at improving its service levels for roads and sidewalks across the city. At Wednesday's executive committee meeting, members spoke about increasing the renewal rate of local roads in poor condition based on the city's level of service target, according to its Road and Concrete Renewal Strategy Annual Update Report. However, in order to achieve Regina's current target, approximately $20 million needs to be invested annually, a goal city administration says is inadequate.
It highlights that we've been underinvesting in our infrastructure, and so we've got good data. It shows where we need to invest, and I know administration is doing some really incredible work in terms of trying to pair underground infrastructure work with the above ground road work and sidewalk work.
Mayor says when it comes to budget time, Regina City Council will take a closer look at pairing road replacement or road resurfacing work as part of the capital projects. And final approval for the report will be presented to Council on June 3rd. Despite the heat, recess is going ahead as planned for many schools in the Queen City. According to Regina Public Schools, no policy in place for extreme heat, but there likely will be soon. Unlike cold weather regulations, there are very few, if any, extreme heat policies in place in Saskatchewan. Regina Public Schools CEO Mark Harmon says the safety of students is #1 priority, of course, and permanent measures will be in place to keep in classrooms at off the temperatures.
It's very difficult to learn in extreme heat, and we acknowledge that. We do have some things in place around portable fans. We do some things around turning lights off, moving students into cooling centers. For instance, many of our relocatables in libraries are air-conditioned. So we have some things in place right now, but I think this kind of heat is here to stay.
Schools, buildings 50 years and older are more prone to high temperatures, as you'd expect. More modern have better air conditioning systems. Saskatoon is about to have the busiest construction season ever. Should make for a fun commute to work. Jeremy Dodge.
Yeah, I mean, I get here pretty early, so it's not a lot of traffic, but man, can it get congested right now. The city says a number of things are colliding this year with a generational project like Link Construction shutting down College Drive, and then the new biosolids project in the North End replacing underground pipelines. There's also a number of water main and road rehabilitation projects that were already on the books. Now, a lingering winter and spring of freeze-thaw cycles that introduced thousands of new potholes and delayed construction by 2 weeks, as all of these projects happening at the same time.
We saw McCormick Road, which is one of the major corridors in and out of several neighborhoods. We're seeing Circle Drive South with some resurfacing work, College Drive, Wanuskewin. So I think we're seeing some of the more major corridors impacted earlier in the construction season, maybe more concentrated than we've seen in some of the past years.
To help with traffic at peak times, some work along major roads like Circle Drive is happening at night between 7 p.m. and 7 a.m., which has led to some noise complaints to the city as well. Prince Albert police have completed a month-long drug trafficking investigation, resulting in multiple arrests. Police arrested 10 people, seized 2 kilograms of cocaine, 2 kilograms of methamphetamine, 2 handguns, an air pistol, and more than $70,000 in Canadian currency. Search warrants were obtained for 3 residences in southwest Prince Albert. 6 people face drug trafficking charges. 3 of them are under the age of 18.
It is certainly troubling when we hear that youth are involved in that, into that capacity. Speculating in terms of why they're involved, I think that's a broader question, whether it's the family dynamics, social dynamic, things of that nature.
The investigation was conducted by the crime reduction team with assistance from other units in the Prince Albert Police Service, the Saskatchewan Trafficking Response Team, and Saskatchewan RCMP. All right, Daryl, back to you with an update on our Prime Minister.
That's right, Jeremy. Thank you. Mark Carney has wrapped up a trip to New York with a twist on a familiar slogan.
Canada Strong will help make America great again.
A line that stole the show as Carney spoke to business leaders at the Economic Club of New York. One that U.S. Ambassador to Canada Pete Hoekstra later said was, quote, worth repeating. Carney went on to say that his government has made practical proposals to the U.S. administration to move past the current era of tension. He also spent time talking about Canada's military commitments. 4-time Stanley Cup champion Claude Lemieux has died at the age of 60. The news came as a shock to his former teammates who saw him just days ago.
I was happy to see him on Monday, just to kind of talk about a little bit what he was doing. He was there with his 2 sons, so it's a big shock.
Lemieux was one of the torchbearers at the Habs playoff game on Monday. In 1986, Lemieux won the Stanley Cup for the first time with Montreal. He would go on to lift the cup 3 more times, winning the Conn Smythe in 1995. Lemieux was known for his tough style of play, which saw him rack up almost 1,800 penalty minutes through his 21-year career. Police found Lemieux in his family's furniture store in Florida. They say he died after taking his own life. Claude Lemieux leaves behind his wife and 4 children. About 2,800 federal public servants have been approved for an early retirement package. This news comes as the federal government tries to trim the size of the public service by 2029. They launched the early retirement incentive program earlier this spring, inviting eligible public servants to apply to retire with an immediate pension based on years of service with no reduction for retiring early. Last December, about 68,000 public servants got this notice. Earlier this week, we told you about NASA's plan to explore the moon. Well, there's been a bit of a setback. Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket exploded on the launch pad last night. Look at your screen. This happened during an engine firing test. The explosion turned the sky above Cape Canaveral orange. There was no one on board that rocket. Blue Origin founder Jeff Bezos confirmed all employees are accounted for, safe and uninjured. This was the type of rocket NASA was planning to use to put landers on the moon. Now, on Tuesday, NASA announced Blue Origin was the winner of the contract to launch 3 missions this year. Warm, dry conditions have allowed producers to make significant progress in the fields. 52% of seeding is now complete, although that is still behind the 5-year average of 74%. Pulse crops are the furthest along, with 77% of the field peas planted, 76% of lentils. Cereal crops, durum is at 74%, 52% for spring wheat and 50% for barley. Oilseed crops like mustards, 56% ahead, 38% for canola, 34% for flax. If you love numbers, this script is for you. Topsoil moisture is at least 2/3 adequate, but should dry up. These conditions, boy, oh boy, they've been something. In the fields, you got to worry about overheating. $20,000 might go a long way to cooling you off.
That's right, Daryl. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra $20,000. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is SAVE. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan that QR code on your screen. Enter SAVE with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, powered by Affinity Credit Union, an affinity for you. All right, let's turn our attention back outside. It's a bright and sunny start to the day yet again in Regina, although we could be seeing some active weather later on in the day into those overnight hours. The afternoon, though, is going to be very, very sunny again. We're already at 20 degrees. We still have those heat warnings in effect. We are seeing some clouds to start the day, and winds are currently coming in at 32 kilometers per hour. Those will be increasing in the afternoon. I'll show you by just how much in just a moment, though. Saskatoon waking up to 20 degrees as well. We are seeing a little bit more of that cloud cover through central Saskatchewan to start the day, and winds are currently coming in at 13 kilometers per hour. They are going to be increasing in Saskatoon this afternoon, just not quite as much as what we're seeing down through the southeast corner of the province. Turning our attention now to some current temperatures across Saskatchewan. 16 degrees in Buffalo Narrows, 13 degrees in La Ronge, 19 degrees already in Prince Albert, and up to 20 degrees in Melfort, 21 in Nipawin, 22 in Hudson Bay. We see some more of that yellow color creeping in there, so indicating some more of that warmth. 20 degrees already in Yorkton, 19 degrees in Moose Jaw, and 18 degrees to wake you up in East End. So again, it's going to be a hot day. It's already a very warm start to the day. Later on in the afternoon, we are seeing temperatures above 30 degrees for really everywhere in central and southern Saskatchewan. So again, it's going to be one of those days where you want to take frequent breaks inside. We're still seeing those yellow and orange level warnings when it comes to this heat, and still seeing some of those wind icons down through the southeast corner of the province as well. When we're talking about highs for Saskatoon, it's going to be about 33 degrees today and 32 degrees for Regina. A little bit more of that sunshine there. Today's wind gusts, as we mentioned, going to be quite elevated down through the southeast corner, and they're actually going to be even more elevated than what we saw yesterday right along that border with Manitoba, though. Areas right around Estevan could see them surpassing 50 kilometers per hour, but right along that border there, we could see some peaking around 70 kilometers per hour. So be prepared for those. Futurecast showing that we're not seeing a lot this morning for active weather, but we are talking about some of that active weather moving into those late afternoon and evening hours. Right around Swift Current is where we'll start to see the risk of some rather strong thunderstorms. It does move over to Regina and even Saskatoon throughout the overnight hours, so we're preparing for the risk of some thunderstorms there. And into Saturday and Sunday, also seeing the risk of some stronger thunderstorms as well, but not quite as much as what we're seeing over in Alberta. You see more of those colors popping up there by Sunday morning. This is at 7:45 a.m. Well, in case you missed it, a UFC and WWE legend made his way to Regina Thursday. Hundreds of people lined up outside of the Emerald Park Home Hardware looking to meet Brock Lesnar, who's an American professional wrestler, former mixed martial artist and amateur wrestler. Lesnar has been a prominent figure in combat sports since the early 2000s and has lived in Saskatchewan for more than a decade.
He's one of my first favorites. I'm a big fan. He's been wrestling for a long time, and cause he fought a whole bunch of guys that I don't like. I got my Brock Lesnar figure and I got my shirt.
He's such a big brand name wrestler. I did not expect him to come and do a meet and greet in somewhere small like Saskatchewan.
That's absolute money.
That is so cute. Lesnar was also there to promote his product, the smoking bullets, which are a mix of aspen and birch pellets used in smokers.
He lives here in Saskatchewan. His kids played hockey at Notre Dame. If you want to meet Brock Lesnar, you talk to him about his kids. He's a proud dad.
Yeah.
Blair Farthing stood in this lineup for 2 hours. 2 hours and 37 degrees temperature.
Understand how huge this is. This guy never meets fans, and if he was to do this at a wrestling convention or something, it would cost you $100 for an autograph and a picture. This is unbelievable, and he's got a major match in Italy on Saturday, tomorrow.
I want to know.
This is just
I want to know
nuts.
how many people have mad sunburns because of that.
I was going to say all day on the morning show. I said, make sure you're taking breaks, go inside. All those kids that were waiting outside.
There was no shade on that roadway right there.
Inside, yeah.
Right? So it brings us to our question today. We thought, who is a celebrity that you would wait in line for hours in whatever condition just to meet?
I have so many answers, but for me it would be
Scott Patterson.
Well, Scott Patterson would be one. I was going to say anybody from the Gilmore Girls cast because I'm such a huge Gilmore Girls fan.
He's one of the guys on Gilmore Girls and on Sullivan's Crossing. He would be Sully, which you can stream on Crave TV.
Right.
There's our shameless promo.
I was going to say, okay.
Promo.
But yeah, anybody from the Gilmore Girls cast, anybody from the Desperate Housewives cast. What about you, Jeremy?
I have trouble coming up with literally anyone. I don't know. I will stand in line that long to talk to my kids or something. But there's no celebrities do it for me. I'm sorry.
I would wait in line forever to meet Mike Siona. Let's scan that QR code and share with us who you would wait in line to see. We're back after this.
Eight-year-old Jordan Eberwine is now in remission from cancer and thriving. He's spent a lot of time in hospitals, and among the things he liked the least, the MRI machine. But now that he sees his favorite Disney characters like these during the test, it's a lot less stressful.
Man, he's so brave. Huh?
Disney is teaming up with the healthcare technology company Philips for a new initiative to help reduce anxiety and avoid sedation during children's MRIs. There are lights, soothing music, and Jordan's favorite, Spider-Man. MRI stands for magnetic resonance imaging. It's a non-invasive scan that takes detailed images of organs and tissues. The downside? It's loud and dark inside the machine and can be a little scary, and patients must stay completely still for the test. For kids like Jordan, that means being under anesthesia, which comes with its own risks. Jordan had a follow-up scan today, his first ever MRI with Disney characters, and he felt better.
Seeing all of the Disney elements just made him relax.
Instead of being sedated, and all the challenges that can have. He was actually excited that he was going to be part of it and proud of himself to cooperate.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Here's a look at that school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina or Saskatoon, we're at 20 degrees right now, so a warm start to the day, warming up to 29 degrees by lunch in Regina and 31 degrees by lunch in Saskatoon. So another hot day on tap. Final bell, both cities at those expected daytime highs. For Regina, that's 32 degrees. For Saskatoon, that's 33. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. The average price in Regina is $174.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $149.9. In Saskatoon, the average price this morning, $174.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $164.9. In the farm markets today, we find the street price of canola at $725.35 per ton. The futures price, $767.30 per ton. Amber Durham wheat now at $285.20 per ton. Red Spring wheat, $287.75 per ton. And the Canadian dollar is up this morning. It's now at 72.42 cents U.S. An exciting day in Canadian soccer coming up. We're previewing the World Cup roster show on TSN. Stay with us.
6:30 on your Friday. Let's get to your headlines. The Saskatchewan Health Authority held a public board meeting in Yorkton where it approved its budgets for 2026-27. That budget includes $5.5 billion in operating expenses, which is a 5.05% increase over the last budget. For capital projects, the SHA approved more than $596 million, supporting equipment and facility improvements. SHA says the investments ensure healthcare workers have the capacity and resources they need to deliver high-quality care across Saskatchewan.
What we're very excited about is expansion of primary care, integrated team-based care to reach our goal where every Saskatchewan person will have access to a primary care team by 2028.
Next public meeting will be held in September. The Saskatchewan NDP wants the province's rate review panel scrapped and replaced by a rate regulator. The call comes just days before the rate review panel wraps up hearings into a Sask Power rate increase request. The NDP says the Crown Corporation has filed last-minute information revealing that its deficit has grown by another $40 million.
Every other jurisdiction in Canada has an independent regulator that acts, outside of government, that is informed by expert opinion, that's informed by, quasi-judicial ability to compel evidence.
The provincial government said that the additional $40 million loss is not new and was reported in the last provincial budget. It blames reduced electricity sales and increased fuel and power purchase costs. The family of a Prince Albert man is asking for help in solving a homicide 4 years ago. On May 28, 2022, Lawrence LaValle died after being shot. Police were called to a home on the 800 block of 11th Avenue East, but found LaValle injured about a block away in the 1000 block of 7th Street East. He was taken to hospital where he died. Police now asking anyone who saw anything suspicious to come forward.
Our family continues to carry the pain of his loss every day. We continue to struggle with the silence, the unanswered questions, and the feeling that justice has not been served. And today, we are asking for the public for help.
Romania will now shut down the Russian consulate and expel the Russian consul after a Russian drone crashed into an apartment building. 2 people were injured when the drone hit an apartment building in Romania. Officials say the drone's explosives detonated, causing a fire and major damage. Around 70 people were forced from their homes. Russia is yet to comment on the incident, but the EU is calling it a, quote, blatant and serious violation. Another potential deal is said to be on the table between Iran and the U.S.
We're in a position where we could substantially step back their nuclear program, not just during the term of this president, but over the long term. That's a very, very good thing for the American people. So we're not there yet, but we're very close. We're going to keep on working at it. Thank you, guys. Have a good evening.
Vice President J.D. Vance says the U.S. and Iran still need to work out several sticking points before an agreement on the war can be reached. There were reports yesterday that the two countries had agreed to a framework of a deal, but Iran's news agency reported the deal has not been finalized. If approved, it would reportedly extend the ceasefire another 60 days and launch further talks on the future of Iran's nuclear program. It would also reportedly allow unrestricted passage through the Strait of Hormuz. After months of rising gas prices, drivers in much of Canada seeing some relief finally.
Finally, a little bit of good news when it comes to filling your tank, that prices have backed off in most areas over the last week, and some areas now starting to see prices that are a little lower than a month ago.
Drivers have likely noticed gas prices have fallen this week. Analysts say that's due to optimism about a deal between those two countries. Some refining issues in the U.S. Great Lakes area have also been sorted out. That's why Ontario has seen a big drop, biggest drop, more than any other province. But now there are concerns refinery slowdowns in California will push prices even higher in BC. Experts say drivers should fill up before you see those come back up right away. There will be more ways to watch CFL football this year. The league has signed a new 6-year extension with Bell Media, the parent company of this broadcast, as the majority broadcaster. Also brings in line DAZN and YouTube as new international partners. DAZN will be the home of Saturday Night Football for the league. Bell Media is the parent company of CTV and Your Morning Saskatchewan. The Saskatchewan Roughriders will make their final cuts tomorrow, and it sounds like decisions may come down to the wire.
It's the worst part of the job, no doubt, but you know it's inevitable. It has to happen. But the main thing is we finish out camp strong tomorrow as a team. Let alone, you know, there's going to have to be decisions made. We're just looking to finish out camp strong as a team, and then you know we'll go ahead and go through the process.
On defense, Riders still looking to fill holes left by A.J. Allen and C.J. Avery at linebacker. They left in free agency, but May says there are tough decisions everywhere.
It's going to have some weight. We're going to put some guys in some situations where you know they got to think, and that's part of the evaluation. You know what I mean? There's the physical component, but you could be a specimen and be limited because you don't know what you're doing. So you got to make sure, being a professional, you got to be accountable. You got to be reliable. So tomorrow's practice will be one of those.
Riders open their season June 13th at home against the BC Lions. Kayleen, it was hot everywhere yesterday, but if you're down on that field at Mosaic Stadium, there's little black rubber pallets in there that keep it a little bit softer, and that makes it so much hotter down on that field. That practice must have sucked.
Hey, I mean, the more you know. I'm glad I wasn't there yesterday. You know where else I'm glad that I wasn't at yesterday? Nipawin. That's the #1 heat record that we're talking about for the day tomorrow, or rather yesterday. Let's take a look at more of those. So there's actually almost 24 communities that broke daily maximum temperature records yesterday. But the top 8, Nipawin, 37.5 degrees yesterday. That previous record was 35.0 back in the year 1936. Hudson Bay at 36.6. Joining them at that was Melfort, Watrous 36.4. Also breaking some daily maximum records yesterday, Rosetown 36.1 degrees, Saskatoon 36.1, beating out that previous record from 1936. Outlook 36 degrees even yesterday in Moose Jaw at 35.9. So a very hot day yesterday for May 28th. Today also going to be very hot. This board looks pretty identical to what we saw it at yesterday. We're seeing those areas in the dark red. That's an orange level warning. Just below that, all those areas lit up in the light red. That is a yellow level warning, and we're actually starting to see them come away from Alberta. We're still seeing that heat a lot over in Manitoba today as well, but Alberta's cooling off. It has started for them. Today's forecast for Saskatchewan, though, still looking very hot. Not quite what we were at yesterday when we were saying that was going to be the hottest day of the heat event, and that rang true. Today, still seeing those really hot temperatures, but 33 in Prince Albert and Saskatoon, 32 for Regina, 31 in Weyburn, and 30 degrees in Estevan. We're also talking about really strong wind gusts the farther east we look today towards that Manitoba border. So if you are waking up with us right along that border today, especially down in the southeast corner, prepare for those wind gusts. The winds are looking better the farther we look to the west today. Your 7-day forecast showing quite a bit of precipitation now popping up for Regina and Saskatoon. afternoon, but temperatures will be dropping off slightly tomorrow for your day to about 28 degrees. 26 degrees on Sunday, seeing that risk of a thunderstorm go up. We also do have a risk of a thunderstorm overnight tonight in Regina. 22 degrees on Monday, still seeing that risk of a thunderstorm. And then just seeing the chance of some light drizzle on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Highs of about 21 degrees for Regina. Here's a look at Saskatoon, though. We are seeing that risk of a thunderstorm start tonight, overnight. It continues into Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Temperatures dropping to the high 20s, 25 on Monday. Again, a risk of a thunderstorm and some rain on the way for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and that's more likely to be a light drizzle.
We've got a number of players that are still very fit, in really good form, are very positive, have had really good trends in where they are in their career, and we think are fully ready for what this tournament's going to require. So we're excited about our team.
That's Canada Soccer coach Jesse Marsh. Canada Soccer will announce its roster for the FIFA World Cup later today. Matthew Shinetti is in North Carolina ahead of that announcement. Matthew, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Listen, 10 players either recovering from injury or recently returning from injury. We know the story of Alphonso Davies. Who are some of the key players who were affected here?
Ali Ahmed, Moise Bombito, Promise David, Luc de Fougerolles. Daryl, if you're looking for some impact players on this Canadian roster, those are a few of them. This is the consequence of a lot of these players now playing in some of the top leagues in Europe. And the amount of high performance stress their bodies are under, yeah, it's going to be a lot. Some of these guys are playing 40, 50 games a season. And that is really different from about 3.5 years ago. Not to be disparaging of the team that went to Qatar, but the levels and the depth of talent on this team is so different. In particular, a guy like Promise David, who is 6'5" and wouldn't it be hard to see him in pads for the Saskatchewan Roughriders? He's the size of a tight end. He ruptured his hip back 16 weeks ago. But getting to the World Cup, representing Canada at this home World Cup was so important to him. He has been literally living above the physio place that he's been doing his rehab at in Belgium. That is just one story of many. You said 10 guys, Ali Ahmed being another guy. He's from Toronto, just north of the city, and he moved to Norwich City in the English Championship, which is one rung below the Premier League. He is an incredibly important player for Jesse Marsh. He has a hamstring injury. There are a ton of hamstring issues on this team, and yet Jesse Marsh really trusts his medical staff. He brought his team here to Charlotte because it is hot, it is humid, and he wants to make this team the fittest team at what is going to be a very hot World Cup. So yes, there are injuries on this team, but everyone seems to be trending in the right direction right now.
Is that why you're in North Carolina, to make them uncomfortable? I thought maybe there was just no availability at the training center in Outlook, Saskatchewan.
You know what? This is one thing that I think is going to be really important about this summer, and how important it will be that this team goes as far as it can, because I've been speaking to people involved in Saskatchewan soccer and the infrastructure in the province, and how much a home World Cup not only generates obviously love in the game, and you can see the energy at the grassroots level, but we're seeing so much investment now starting to trickle in sports in this country, and you hope a long run will really go ahead and induce not only obviously the provinces, but you know, perhaps others to really continue to that work at building infrastructure, because a World Cup, a home World Cup, doesn't just do wonders for the team that's playing in it, you know, the players in the national program. It's supposed to be something that benefits the entire country, and this is what I'm really excited about, because our country is so big, and yet soccer, if you go across the country, and I've spoken to coaches across this country, it is such an important game at the grassroots level, and more attention on it, more grassroots just continues to build the world's game in our country.
Look forward to all of your coverage. I know you put a lot of work in so far, and there's a lot on the social media channels. Matthew, thank you so much for a couple of minutes today. You at home, you can see tonight's roster announcement on CTV, TSN, or stream it on Crave starting at 5 o'clock tonight.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for it, we are off to Texas. Astros taking on the Rangers. Brandon Nimmo drives one to right. It is heading out of the park. That is until Cam Smith gets a beat on it, leaps at the wall, and robs the home run. A perfectly timed jump for Smith. He just gets enough of it with the glove. to bring one back for Houston. Atlanta Smith, your must-see moment from Thursday. And coming up tonight right here on TSN, Canada soccer head coach Jesse Marsh will name Canada's men's roster for the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup. You can catch that at 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
The Pilot Butte Crocus Art and Artisan Sale is preparing for tomorrow's opening day, and Janelle Lippi on location this morning to get a sneak peek. Janelle, good morning.
Good morning, Jeremy. That's right. Really exciting stuff coming up. We're spending this beautiful morning in Pilot Butte, and Brian is joining me. Brian, thanks for being here. I'd love to start off with a little bit of an overview on what tomorrow's going to look like.
Okay, so yeah, Crocus Art and Artisan Sale is a 2-day event, so Saturday and Sunday. Saturday from 10 o'clock until 5 o'clock, and Sunday from 12 until 4 p.m. And we just got a really great group of artists and artisans showing up for our sale this year, so we're excited about it.
Lots to be excited for, and I was checking out the webpage. Lots of artists attending. What type of artwork are they presenting tomorrow?
We have anywhere from wood turners, woodworkers, to people doing crochet, to traditional artists, and wall art for your home. So, just a great group. A lot of sewing as well. A little bit of something for everyone.
All right, so lots of selection then. So tell me a little bit about the location. Is it free admission? How can people be a part of this?
Yes, admission is free. We're in Pilot Butte in the recreation complex, so at 222 Diamond Place in Pilot Butte. The entrance is on the east side of the building, and we'd love to have you down.
All right, Brian. Well, thank you very much. Once again, that is starting tomorrow. Admission is free. There's lots of artwork to check out and even buy a couple.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much. We will check back in with you next hour.
It's May 29th, and we have a lot to celebrate. We'll start off with a belated anniversary wish going out to John and Minnie from North Battleford, marking 71 years yesterday. Congratulations, you two. A big happy birthday going out to Skylar. She's turning 34. Enjoy your day with love from your mom and all of your family and friends. Turning 8 years old today is Emmett. Have a great day with love from your mom, dad, Evan, Alyssa, Grandma Rain, Cookums, Christine, and Pat, and your cousins. We got this photo to wish Elaine a very happy 85th birthday. Best wishes from your husband John, children Malcolm and Lorianne, and your grandchildren Alexa, Hudson, and Declan. Turning 92 years old is Elroy. Happy birthday to you with a ton of love coming your way from all of your family and friends. Here's a big one. Polly is marking her 100th birthday. Congratulations. Your family says they can't wait to celebrate you, including your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and your great-great-grandchildren. Amazing. Looking forward to the weekend now. Happy birthday to Mr. Wilfong. Enjoy your special day. This shout out coming from your work besties. A double happy birthday going out to these siblings who share a birthday of May 30th. Oakland will be 8 and Sully will be turning 1. Love coming from their mom, dad, and brother Scout. Celebrating on Sunday will be Grandma Debbie. Happy birthday to you. A ton of love coming your way from your family. And turning 90 years old on Sunday will be Vicky. This shout out coming from Brenda, Linda, Donna, and their families who are wishing you lots of joy and love for your special day.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
All right, what's our total at now?
$2,300. $2,300. So maybe it goes today. Probably you're right.
Maybe. Be a nice Friday.
Yeah, if I was a betting man, I would lean towards yours and say that we're probably just going to have more money coming up next week. But who knows? It has to go at some point. Name that sound. 7:40 this morning. We'll give you that sound once again. Get you playing for it. And hopefully you got $2,300 to go into the weekend with. We're also asking you a food or a drink that you just associate with your grandparents. You can text over to 54321 because a new article came out. Said the drink of the summer is going to be a twist on Fresca. and I'm pretty sure I've never had a Fresca like outside of my grandparents' house when I was little growing up. So what is that food or that drink that you just associate with Grandma and Grandpa? You can text over 54321.
We'll do it again next hour, Chase. See ya.
We'll see you then.
Eddie Murphy is the American Film Institute's latest Life Achievement Award honoree. The star-studded celebration was recorded last month. Beforehand, Murphy called it a wonderful honor.
Thousands of people have Oscars, but only a few people have this award. And this is recognizing your whole body of work. And it's just a great thing. This says you've been doing it for a while, and you're not stinky.
The 51st AFI Life Achievement Award, a tribute to Eddie Murphy, premieres Sunday on Netflix.
It's a crazy journey that we're on right now together.
Zac Efron's next journey is coming into focus. Deadline reports he's set to executive produce and star in a drama series based on the Angel Heart novels about a down-and-out paparazzo. The books were also the basis of the 1987 film starring Mickey Rourke, Lisa Bonet, and Robert De Niro. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Jeremy, what do you got for us this morning?
We have a dad and daughter duo covering a classic.
Well, I've been afraid of changing 'cause I've built my life around you.
Perfect harmony. Of course, that's Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. It's a casual bonding time for the two. Apparently, they always sit and sing at the kitchen table. You can find them on the Instagram there. They do Hozier, Shania Twain, all sorts of great songs.
They can sit at the kitchen table and sign the record contract. From a dad singing to with his daughter, to moms trying to recognize their son's voice.
Mom!
The Hawthorn Football Club in Melbourne, Australia, they thought it would be funny to see how many moms could recognize their kids' names. So they stand at the front, they're facing the front, and as soon as they think they hear their kid's voice, they're supposed to turn around.
And you know what? I've seen this whole video. It's amazing because the power of moms, a lot of them got it right.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Pretty
That's
impressive
neat.
stuff.
I like that a lot. Yeah.
You just know. Well, here's a daughter trying to help her mom declutter.
Oh, let's see.
The amount of lanyards you have, well, some of those are doggy. Crazy. Beanie Babies. Do we need all these Beanie Babies, though? You don't need the McDonald's Beanie Baby. You've never unwrapped these.
She's trying to help her mom get rid of some of that junk through the trend Swedish death cleaning. It may sound morbid, but it's an intentional process of organizing your home so that your loved ones are not burdened with the task of doing that when you pass away. Unlike Marie Kondo's technique of keeping things that give you joy, this is the cleaning. It's all about just, getting together before it's too late.
In my house, it is water bottles. I don't know why Sarah has so many water bottles.
Same.
I'm coming to your house.
Wait till the kids start adding to the collection. Holy moly.
I went through and I threw out like 8 of them.
Why are you throwing them out? I need water bottles. We never
dented,
have any in our house.
They're dinged. They're from 1997. Wow. With all the BPA. Yeah.
All right, I'm coming to steal water bottles from your house.
Okay, we're going to go to commercial break, and I'm going to answer the text about my wife who says, I knew you threw out my water bottles. It's Friday, May 29th.
Finally, a little bit of good news when it comes to filling your tank.
Fill up while you can. That's because experts don't know when falling gas prices may bounce back up. Premier Scott Moe will be on the show here at 7:30 this morning. We're talking national unity, social media bans, coal plants, and a whole lot more.
I got my Brock Lesnar figure and I got my shirt.
And long lines, but some happy fans in Emerald Park for a rare opportunity. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Friday.
I know that there are a lot of fans of the Toronto Blue Jays out there, but none may be cuter than this one.
Well, not yet. We're in a good spot here, but nothing to cheer about just yet. Okay. Say go, Nate. Go. Go, Nate, go. Go, Jay. Oh, good. Good. No, foul. It's foul. It's foul. It went foul. Come on, Kaz. Come on, Kaz.
That is Sadie.
That is my daughter and my husband yesterday watching the Blue Jays.
I liked his explanation. No, it's foul.
Yeah, it's foul.
It's foul.
Okay.
Where did it go?
Where'd it go? I don't know. She loves watching sports. It's not just exclusive to the Blue Jays. She also watches the Saskatchewan Roughriders with my husband too. And she just gets so into it. I don't even know what's going on, but she cheers at the right times, I'm told. So
good. Well, there you go. It's all about perspective. 7:02. Let's get right to your headlines for this part of the hour. Federal officials say this year's wildfire season got off to a slower start than in 2025, but the risk remains very, very high right now. The federal emergency management minister says hot, dry conditions are raising the risk of wildfires, with Environment Canada forecasting above normal temperatures across much of the country, including here over the next 3 months. The minister says the federal government has leased 10 new aircraft to help support wildfire response efforts. She says the wildfire situation can change rapidly, urging communities to be prepared.
I encourage all Canadians to go to getprepared.ca to learn how to protect yourself and your family, learn how to make an emergency plan and an emergency kit.
5 active wildfires burning right now in Saskatchewan. There are also 8 flooding incidents here. Most Saskatchewan schools have an extreme cold policy, but we're learning not many have a hot weather policy. Regina Public Schools says there might be one soon. It was sweltering in many towns and cities yesterday. The CEO says student safety is their #1 priority and measures could be put in place soon.
It's very difficult to learn in extreme heat, and we acknowledge that. We do have some things in place around portable fans. We do some things around turning lights off, moving students into cooling centers. For instance, many of our relocatables in libraries are air-conditioned. So we have some things in place right now, but I think this kind of heat is here to stay.
Schools, buildings 50 years of age and older are more prone to the high temperatures. Some modern ones, of course, have air conditioning systems that are a little bit better. I always say this on the show, Jeremy, you've heard me. There's winter and road repair, and you guys are deep into the ladder.
Oh, man, construction season having a major impact in Saskatoon this year. So just get used to slow traffic and detours because construction season is here. And the city is expecting a record spring and summer of work ahead. Keenan Sorokan has all the details.
This is going to be one of the busiest construction seasons, if not the busiest construction season we've ever had in the city on record.
Get ready for a construction season unlike any other in Saskatoon. A number of factors are colliding this summer to make scenes like this commonplace all summer long.
Season is very short, and so it needs to be done.
We have construction season and non-construction season, so yeah, it's frustrating.
It's better that they fix it than leave it. Those holes, you lose your car, it's gone.
On the north end of the city, a biosolids project replacing sewer pipes running from the wastewater treatment plant to Wanuskewin Heritage Park has slowed traffic. The University Bridge is still closed for another few weeks. Dedicated bus lanes being built for Link on College Drive and dozens more transit platforms being built across the city are also slowing traffic.
There are some more major projects this year that are definitely adding to our typical construction program, but we are also seeing some large water and sewer projects as well in some of the neighborhoods that can take weeks or even months to complete.
On the other side of the bridge, road work on McCormick has created headaches, with nighttime repaving on Circle Drive South near Stonebridge also adding to the pile. The city also issued a PSA Wednesday warning the entire east side to limit outdoor water usage like sprinklers until the end of the month as part of the water main work along Acadia Drive. alive. The city says limited water usage is essential to keeping water pressure steady.
I think we're seeing some of the more major corridors impacted earlier in the construction season, maybe more concentrated than we've seen in some of the past years.
Making this year busier than ever, aside from the generational projects, is the weather. Schmidt says the freeze-thaw cycles didn't just double the number of potholes across the city, it delayed the construction season by about 2 weeks.
With that 2-week delay, they were very anxious to get going, so I think we probably saw more projects starting up at the same time.
Keenan Sorakan, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, Daryl, the NDP wants the province's rate review panel scrapped and replaced by a rate regulator.
Call coming just days before that rate review panel wrapping up talks into Sask Power's rate increase request. The NDP says the Crown Corporation filed last-minute information revealing that its deficit had grown by another $40 million. Opposition says the panel has been set up to fail and should be replaced.
Every other jurisdiction in Canada has an independent regulator that acts, outside of government, that is informed by expert opinion, that's informed by, quasi-judicial ability to compel evidence.
The provincial government said the additional $40 million was accounted for in the last provincial budget and is blaming electricity sales and increased fuel and power purchase costs. The Prime Minister has wrapped up a trip to New York with a fun twist on a familiar slogan.
Canada Strong will help make America great again.
The line that Carney stole. It stole the show as he talked to business leaders at the Economic Club of New York. One that the U.S. ambassador to Canada said was, quote, worth repeating. Carney went on to say that his government has made practical proposals to the U.S. administration to move past the current era of tension. He also spent time talking about Canada's military commitments. Earlier this week, we told you about NASA's plan to explore the moon. Well, there's been a bit of a setback. Blue Origin's New Glenn rocket exploded on the launch pad last night. Take a look at your screen. Here comes. This happened during an engine firing test. The explosion turned the sky orange. There was no one on board the rocket. Founder Jeff Bezos confirmed all employees were safe. This is the type of rocket NASA is planning to use to send landers to the moon. On Tuesday, NASA announced Blue Origin was the winner of the contract for the next 3 missions. After months of rising gas prices, drivers in much of Canada saw some relief yesterday.
Finally, a little bit of good news when it comes to filling your tank. That prices have backed off in most areas over the last week, and some areas now starting to see prices that are a little lower than a month ago.
Drivers have likely noticed gas prices have fallen this week. Analysts say that's due to optimism about a deal between the U.S. and Iran. Some refining issues in the U.S. Great Lakes area have also been sorted out. Drivers, you should fill up when you see a price drop, according to experts, because prices will remain volatile. Pickleball scene in Regina and Saskatoon had some changes over the past month. Pickler Canada partnered with Saskatchewan pickleball clubs last week to bring a facility with 10 courts to Saskatoon this fall. Regina's location will be revealed later. After a 5-year lease, the Queen City Pickleball Hub in Regina will be moving out of the Havana Center, finalizing a new location on Park Street.
I view it as a very positive experience. It was a place to cultivate a lot of friendships, meet a lot of new people, provide a service that made a lot of people, brought a lot of joy to their life and exercise. So many friendships have been made through it. So there's no regrets whatsoever.
Great venue. There is a provincial tournament, one last hurrah, you might say, in Regina at the Queen City Pickleball Hub. It's on right now. Canada's top men's soccer players are anxiously awaiting tonight's news of who will represent Canada at the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
So many players would love to be in this position right now. So with those nerves, it's a little bit of a blessing as well that your name is going to be one of the ones considered in that selection.
Canadian defender Derek Cornelius shared his thoughts from Canada's camp in Charlotte, North Carolina. TSN's Matthew Shinetti was just on the show. He says the impact of the World Cup in Canada should be felt in Saskatchewan.
I've been speaking to people involved with Saskatchewan soccer and the infrastructure in the province and how much a home World Cup not only generates obviously love in the game, and you can see the energy at the grassroots level, but we're seeing so much investment now starting to trickle in sports in this country, and you hope a long run will really go ahead and induce not only obviously the provinces, but perhaps others to really continue to that work at building infrastructure, because a World Cup, a home World Cup, doesn't just do wonders for the team that's playing in it, the players in the national program. It's supposed to be something that benefits the entire country, and this is what I'm really excited about, because our country is so big, and yet soccer, if you go across the country, and I've spoken to coaches across this country, it is such an important game at the grassroots level.
The roster reveal will be on CTV, TSN, and Crave live at 5 p.m. tonight. And you can stream that conversation with Matthew right now on our website. Let's wake up and win some money.
If you say so, Daryl. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra $20,000. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is SAVE. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan that QR code on your screen. Enter SAVE with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest, powered by Affinity Credit Union, an affinity for you. All right, time to turn our attention back outside to this bright and sunny start to the day in Regina. We're seeing a little bit more of that cloud cover compared to what we saw yesterday, but still a lot of sunshine. 21 now to wake you up, and some winds coming in at 33 kilometers per hour. Those will likely be increasing in your afternoon, similar to what we saw yesterday when they were gusting up to about 50 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, 21 degrees right now. Also seeing a mix of sun and cloud. Winds coming in at 20 kilometers per hour. Not quite going to be seeing as strong of those wind gusts this afternoon. We are talking about some active weather this weekend, not so much in this early afternoon, but into the evening hours. We're going to be seeing some thunderstorm activity, all those areas lighting up, not just in green with the rain, but with the yellows, oranges, and even some red colors. So we do have a risk of seeing some rather strong thunderstorms. Regina and Saskatoon, we do have a chance of seeing those thunderstorms overnight. Into Saturday morning, just seeing some of that rain in areas northeast of Prince Albert there. And then we're talking about our Saturday, and our Saturday does include some precipitation for Saskatoon and Regina, areas around the Parkland region as well, and down through that southwest corner of the province. Again, we start to see in the evening hours on Saturday some of that thunderstorm activity, but not even close to what we're seeing over in Alberta. Basically completely lit up. And right after seeing those heat warnings, yes, the western border with British Columbia going to be seeing some of that snow. Don't worry about Saskatchewan. We're not going to be talking about snow. We're heading into June. That is behind us. But again, we do have some risks this weekend of seeing some rather strong thunderstorms, so be prepared for that. Today's temperatures still going to be hot. We still have some yellow and orange level heat warnings in the province, although these temperatures are surprisingly down from where we were at yesterday, but still going to be very hot. So stay hydrated, put on your sunscreen, take those breaks inside. 33 degrees for Prince Albert and Saskatoon, Moose Jaw as well at 33, 32 for Swift Current, 32 in Regina, and 30 degrees for Estevan. We are seeing some of those stronger wind gusts as well today. Not so much the farther we look to the west, specifically the southwest corner of the province. It's actually overnight that we start to see some stronger wind gusts moving in there from the United States. But for the early afternoon, we're talking about those stronger wind gusts in the southeast corner of the province, right around Estevan there, where you're seeing all those areas lighting up in red. Taking a look at another very hot rural forecast today. Still seeing those heat warnings in effect. 31 degrees for Spiritwood, 33 in Watrous this afternoon, and 30 degrees for Wynyard today with a mix of sun and cloud. Down in the south, seeing more of that precipitation through the southwest corner of the province. East End with that possibility of seeing that strong thunderstorm. 28 degrees, 31 in Rockland with those winds gusting up to about 50 kilometers per hour. 32 for Coronach and Pilot Butte, and 28 in Carlisle. Let's take a closer look at Buchanan, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 31 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud this afternoon. Into the late afternoon and evening hours, we'll start to see some very light showers. Winds could be gusting up to 55 kilometers per hour.
Hello there, Kara Wagland in the SportsCenter newsroom with your must-see moment from Thursday. And for it, we are off to Texas. Astros taking on the Rangers. Brandon Nimmo drives one to right. It is heading out of the park. That is until Cam Smith gets a beat on it, leaps at the wall, and robs the home run. A perfectly timed jump for Smith. He just gets enough of it with the glove to bring one back for Houston. It lands Smith your must-see moment from Thursday. And coming up tonight right here on TSN, Canada soccer head coach Jesse Marsh will name Canada's men's roster for the upcoming 2026 FIFA World Cup. You can catch that at 7 Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. That's all for now from SportsCenter. Have a great day.
We want to show you some video from Emerald Park, Saskatchewan, where a rare opportunity happened yesterday. People stayed for about 2 hours. Our Blair Farthing was amongst them. He said people in front of him came in from Winnipeg, flew in from Kelowna, came from Edmonton to meet this man, Brock Lesnar, and it's led us to our question of the day.
Yeah, we're asking you, who's a celebrity you would wait in line for hours to meet?
I saw some of the answers come through. Some are pretty fun.
Some are fun. Some of them are us. And not only are they us, but Debbie, get this, and I don't think anybody's ever got this, got all of our names right and spelled them all correct.
Oh boy, nobody ever spells Daryl right.
Yes, Daryl, Kayleen, Janelle, and Jeremy.
Aim higher.
Yeah.
Aim higher.
Hey, we love you, Debbie, and I appreciate that. Also, below Kevin, Celine Dion.
Honestly,
that's on the same level as
honestly,
us.
you'll find me at Costco at about 10 o'clock getting a slice of pizza. So.
Yeah, we're often just roaming around the city. You'll find me at any estate sale this weekend. I'll be in your garage this weekend.
Very accessible.
Leanne from Nipawin saying, I would stand in line for a few hours to go and see Aerosmith. I'm a diehard fan for Steven Tyler. We had one answer coming in saying George Springer.
George Springer. Yeah,
son and him share the same birthday. Love to meet him, so would definitely wait in line to see him. Lori from Regina saying, I waited 2 hours at the cold to meet Gene Simmons.
A lot of people did.
Yeah, got
He's selling that vodka.
Frostbite on the toes. Another answer just saying Jeremy Dodge.
Man.
They didn't submit their name though, so
that was not me. I promise that was not me.
Anonymous.
I've been busy.
That's a troll right there,
saying
I'm sure of it.
Keanu Reeves. That's a really good one.
Yep, Shaq. You can probably see him at a brick store. He's got a new line of furniture.
That would be cool, actually.
All right, so some great answers to start us off. We would love to hear from you, though. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply, or scan that QR code on your screen. We'll be sharing some more answers in 1 hour.
So my favorite stories on the calendar year, of course, the wife carry, and I love the cheese roll. We had that. This one is Kayleen's favorite. It's the championship finals last night with the competition reaching its boiling point.
Very competitive, ultimately amounting to a spell-off. Here's ABC's Danny New.
Shrey, you are the 2000.
The 2026 Scripps National Spelling Bee came down to a dramatic, record-breaking spell-off Thursday night, with 14-year-old Shrey Parikh emerging as this year's champion.
P-I-T-T-A, Filipita.
That is correct.
Thank you. After the 18th round concluded in our nation's capital, only 2 remained, thus necessitating an extra round where each competitor would have 90 seconds to spell the same set of words.
Enthyme.
E-N-T-H-Y-M-E-M-E.
It turned into a coastal showdown. New Jersey's Ishan Gupta spelled 25 words correctly.
Emerge.
E-M-E-U-T-E.
Which would have been enough to win in 2022's spell-off.
Enthyme.
E-N-T-H-Y-M-E-M-E.
But just listen to the speed with which this California native rifled through these words.
Utakawa.
P-O-H-U-T-U-K-A-W-A.
As Shrey spelled a B record 32 words correctly in 90 seconds.
N-I-N-E, Austin. That is correct.
And for Shrey, this was a bit of a comeback story. In 2024, he came in 3rd place, but then last year, shockingly, did not make it out of his region to qualify for the National Bee. Earlier this week, we heard him discuss the idea of feeling pressure.
At the end of the day, all that matters is I get my word correct. So, you know, the pressure, I try not to let it affect me. I don't think about it.
And he sure didn't seem to be thinking about any pressure at all as he rocketed through that spell-off Thursday night, or as he put it,
spelling fast is what I do every day, so, you know, a spell-off just kind of came naturally, and it was just like another day of spelling for me.
Just another day.
So how this works is the winning word is the last word the winner got right in the spell-off. So in this case, it was kashaw, which is a type of squash found in Central America. At least I think it's pronounced kashaw. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
The speed.
Did you?
The sheer velocity.
Yeah.
It's become superhuman now. It doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
it blows my mind
crazy.
every year. I wait for this story. I love the spelling bee. I was also a spelling bee kid, though. I won like 3rd place in my school spelling bee in elementary school.
There you go. I was the silver medalist in tennis at the Alberta Summer Games.
Oh.
There were only 2 teams.
Impressive.
Morning mystery time.
Still.
Last morning mystery of the week. It is a location today. Here are your 3 clues. Play along at home. Clue number 1, it stands 29,032 feet tall. It was first climbed in 1953. There is a rule that states if you have not reached the summit by 2 p.m., you are strongly advised to turn back. Well, I'm no climbing enthusiast, but
Yeah.
I don't know how to spell Kilimanjaro, so I'm going to go with this one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to go with Everest. Is it Mount Everest? Jeremy, what do you got? You got Everest as well?
Yeah.
It is apparently Mount Everest. International Everest Day is celebrated every year, if you didn't know, apparently on May 29th. That's today's morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina or Saskatoon, we're now at 21 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. Lunchtime in Regina, 29 and 31 degrees through Saskatoon at that noon time. By final bell, both cities at those expected daytime highs. For Regina, that's 32 degrees, and for Saskatoon, that's 33 degrees. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices. The average price in Regina today, $174.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $149.9. In Saskatoon, the average price $174.9, but we're seeing the lowest sitting at $164.9. In the farm markets today, we find the street price of canola at $725.35 per ton. The futures price $767.30 per ton. Amber durum wheat now at $285.20 per ton, and red spring wheat $287.75 per ton. The Canadian dollar is up. It's at 72.42 cents US. Premier Scott Moe is standing by. After the break, we'll talk national unity, social media bans, coal plants, and more.
The issue, I think, in the court is whether that duty to consult should apply to citizen-initiated petitions. And that's where I think that the court erred in judgment.
I think we know that is not correct, a lot of what you just said there, Premier Smith. It is not up to the petition gatherers to fulfill the duty to consult. It is up to you as the Alberta government to fulfill the duty to consult.
Caught in the middle of that exchange at the Western Premier's meeting was our Premier, Scott Moe, who's in studio with us for his monthly visit. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go back to that moment. You've had a couple of days to digest that conversation and that moment at the podium. Where do you stand on this issue of we're trying to bring the country together at this point?
That's precisely it. And what these meetings, whether it's Western Premiers or the Council of Federation meetings, are about is, quite simply just to drop some of our partisan views at the door and try to get to points of consensus. And what we saw here, and I was going to state it there and I should have, is the courts have ruled that there is a requirement for a duty to consult when there's a referendum question that essentially is asking a question on which direction the government should go. It's not a referendum question about an action. That's why the Alberta government is likely taking this to a higher court. And Premier Canoe disagrees with that. And that's a discussion that likely should not happen in front of the camera in the interest of moving forward together and moving forward in a unified way.
What would you do in a similar situation? A petition is presented to you, you get the initial ruling. Where would we stand in
We don't have that in Saskatchewan right now. However, some of the challenges that we're seeing bubble up in Alberta with the petitions, with the referendum question that's being asked in both different ways because of the 2 petitions that have been submitted. Those very frustrations that have built over the last 10 years, those are very real in other parts of the nation. I'd say they're very real here as well. However, and the point I tried to make throughout this meeting was there are some changes that are being made today by the current Prime Minister. They might not be fast enough, or they might not be far enough, and I'll be the first to say they're not exactly what I would like to see, but they're far better than what we have seen over the last decade, and we need to, in the Canadian way, work together with him and other provinces to, try to get our province into a position where we can continue the economic success that we are seeing here today.
Moving on, Amnesty International last night said they're going to seek intervenor status in the Saskatchewan pronoun law that is going to the Supreme Court. Your reaction this morning?
That's fine. I mean, they're an international organization. They're, I suppose, okay to, or it's within their realm to intervene in this case, as others will on both sides. However, at the end of the day, we're going to ensure as a province and in our provincial education system that schools are going to communicate with parents about multiple different topics with respect to their children that are the students at those schools.
And speaking of protecting children, you sent out the survey. I got mine in the mail, the social media policy survey. Those are trickling back into your office. How do you expect this to pan out? You've said publicly that you want the federal government to come out with a policy and that we can all adopt. Where do we stand?
Or even augment at the provincial level. I think this is an area where if we work together, we could likely get a stronger, more effective policy if that's what parents truly want at the end of the day. So I hope we have a good turnout. I think that's my first hope with respect to the survey that we sent out. I hope we have a good turnout. It's essentially different question, but asking people for their advice like they're doing in Alberta through a referendum question.
And free to return it.
Yeah, and so we're hopeful that we get a good turnout of or a good proportion returned, so that we have can capture really where the hearts and minds of Saskatchewan parents are, so that we can work, yes, with the federal government, but also if we need to augment that or to move alone in the province, we'd look at that as well.
The NDP is continuing to talk about the rate review panel, the Sask power increases. They want it scrapped and start over. What is your position on this?
It's a process that's been in place for literally decades. And this stems back to the opposition it thinks that they have found something with respect to, rather than taking the capital cost of refurbishing some of our thermal assets today, what they've done is taken 25 years, added that up, and said that that's actually the upfront cost for the refurbishment of that. None of that is the case. And it's coming from a party that literally mistook their revenue and expense lines for one another in the last campaign. What we're doing is we're taking the most affordable path forward to provide affordable, reliable power for the people of Saskatchewan as we find our way to our nuclear future. It's far more affordable to utilize the assets that we have today rather than build new for a short period of time, which is what they're suggesting we do. So there's a long time process, decades-long process that's in place. We'll continue to follow it.
5 active wildfires burning in the province right now, 8 flooding incidents. This is far behind what we saw last year, which is a great thing, but it is tinder dry out there. How ready are we to respond if it gets bad over the next couple of weeks?
They're responding now. We have one just outside of Prince Albert, between Prince Albert and Duck Lake. I've talked to some local guys. There's heavy equipment moving into the area. They've had to move in with that heavy equipment and then move out on 2 different occasions because the fire is just that threatening. As you say, it's tinder dry right now. But I got back from Calgary yesterday. I was on a call yesterday with respect to that fire and some others. We're expecting some rain this weekend. We hope there's not too much lightning, but the SPSA is definitely prepared, and they have the assets to deploy.
Let's lighten the mood a little bit. You're on the tractor, you're getting the seed in the ground. What are you listening to? What's on your playlist?
A country today, but a few years ago it might have been something a little bit more like a Kiss or an AC/DC, but today it's a country, and I'm actually taking a liking to a local guy that probably his father used to sit in this chair from time to time, and that's young Coulter. He's a great young kid and just a great artist.
Yeah, he's put together some good stuff. You mentioned fishing last time. Have you caught any? What are you fishing?
I'm a professional hook washer and a poor fisherman.
All right.
But I do.
Where are we going? Are you trying the wrong spots?
Well, there's a lake. 3 lakes actually. I don't even know the name of them, but they're up north of Lalache, and some friends take me in there. That's great. Dory Lake is good, but I have to go to the north because I'm just not that good.
Where are you spending your summer? If you had a couple of weeks to go and spend some time in Saskatchewan, what stops are you making?
We're going to get a couple weekends in at one of those lakes,
yep.
And then I'm going to spend my summer on something with a motor with some kids back home. For the little bit of time that I get home. Pretty busy till the end of June, but I'm hoping to get a few weekends in July.
Don't answer your phone next time. Last time you did, you and Krista ended up going with Mark Carney on a business. Yeah. See,
first holiday in 5 years. Honey, we're going to China.
That's bro code. You got to make sure you protect the guy, right? That is our monthly check-in with the Premier, Scott Moe.
Thank you, Daryl.
Well, Premier Scott Moe just mentioned a few places where you can get outside today, but if you are going, grab your sunscreen, grab your hat. Make sure you're taking those frequent breaks inside because we do have some more of those heat warnings in effect, yellow and orange levels again. So we're talking about varying levels of some danger there with that comes with that. Let's take a look back before we look forward, though, to some daily maximum temperature records that were set yesterday in the province. Here are some of the highest records that we saw again for the day, May 28th. Nipawin reached 37.5 degrees yesterday, beating out that previous record of 35.0 in 1936. Hudson Bay, 36.6 yesterday. Joining them at that temperature was Melfort, Watrous at 36.4. Also reaching some daily maximum temperature records according to Environment Canada. Rosetown, 36.1. Saskatoon also at 36.1 yesterday. Outlook, 36.0, and Moose Jaw at 35.9. Of course, as we mentioned, still seeing most of the province, other than the far, far north, under those heat warnings today. So again, these temperatures can be rather dangerous. Make sure you're protecting yourself. It is going to be a couple degrees cooler than what we saw yesterday, if you can even call this cool, because it's not. It's hot, hot, hot. 33 degrees in Prince Albert with that cloud cover today. 33 degrees for Saskatoon. Also joining them at 33 will be Moose Jaw today, 31 in Weyburn, and 30 degrees in Estevan. Let's turn our attention to that 7-day forecast, though. We were just talking about some precipitation that's on the way this weekend. Temperatures will be dropping to the high 20s tomorrow in Regina, 28 degrees to be exact, 26 on Sunday. That's when we're seeing that risk of the thunderstorm during the afternoon. However, we're also talking about the risk of seeing some light thunderstorms tonight overnight. 22 degrees on Monday, also seeing that risk of an isolated thunderstorm there. 21 degrees on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday in Regina. And we're seeing the risk of a thunderstorm go down, but the chance of some very light drizzle does continue on. In Saskatoon, again, falling to the high 20s for our weekend. 29 degrees to be exact tomorrow. Again, talking about the risk of a thunderstorm starting tonight, carrying us through into Saturday afternoon. Also seeing that risk on Sunday afternoon as well. 27, falling to 25 on Monday. Still seeing that risk of a thunderstorm. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just talking about some of that light drizzle on the way. A little bit more of that sunshine expected on Tuesday, and a whole lot of cloud cover on the way for Wednesday and Thursday, falling to 20 degrees for both of those days. Here's what's happening in our community. TEDx Regina 2026 Once Upon Our Future is on May 29th, 2 p.m. at Dark Hall. Call 306-999-6062. The Collectibles Show is on May 30th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Northgate Mall. Email sportsworld@sasktel.net. On May 30th and 31st, find the Crocus and Artisan Sale at the Pilot Butte Arena starting at 10 a.m. Learn more at pilotbuttearts.ca. And Jazz Fest Regina Frog Back and Soul Deep. The fundraiser is happening June 11th at 7 p.m. at Revival Music Room. Information is on connexusartcenter.ca. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca or ctvsaskatoon.ca. Click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
City of Regina is taking a concrete look at improving its service levels for roads and sidewalks across the city. Sierra D'Souza Butts reports.
When it comes to road and sidewalk conditions, every neighborhood is falling through the cracks.
It is unacceptable. It is that bad on Chuka Drive here.
Some residents are waiting a long time for repair jobs, while others are seeing construction they deem unnecessary.
Wascana Glen. And those people whose road is now just about to be repaired are asking why. Literally, that they feel it's in that good shape that it's an inconvenience.
As part of the City of Regina's Road and Concrete Renewal Strategy and Annual Update Report, Executive Committee is reviewing its past work and future forecasts for fixing road and sidewalks. Administration saying underground infrastructure plays a role for deciding which roads are repaired entirely or just at the surface.
When we're developing these projects, so understanding what the condition of the underground water, wastewater and stormwater lines look like, as well as the surrounding concrete conditions, important as well as we start to scope out those projects.
At Wednesday's meeting, members spoke about increasing the renewal rate of local roads in poor condition based on the city's level of service target. However, in order to achieve Regina's current target, about $20 million needs to be invested annually, a goal city administration says they can't match.
The numbers seemed a little maybe scary at first, but what we're seeing is a lot of those projects are going to get paired together.
Adding, when it comes to budget time, Regina City Council will take a closer look at pairing road replacement or road surface work as part of its capital projects.
It highlights that we've been underinvesting in our infrastructure, and so we've got good data. It shows where we need to invest, and I know administration is doing some really incredible work in terms of trying to pair underground infrastructure work with the above-ground road work and sidewalk work.
Final approval of the report will be presented to Regina City Council's meeting on June 3rd. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
The Regina Early Learning Centre is rolling out a new bike path right inside its playground. The bike path, bath pack would be weird, was made possible through the Cal Tire Relay Fund, which provides grants for community infrastructure using recycled rubber products. The new path is designed to encourage active play while helping kids build a little confidence and cycling skills in a safe environment.
It kind of stops at the far side of our building, and that allows the kids to kind of get a lot more activity going all the way through the whole yard. And it's a nice soft rubber surface, so safe for the little ones to learn how to ride a bike.
A total of 907 kilograms of recycled rubber was used to build the path since its launch in 2019. Cal's Replay Fund has repurposed more than 900 tons of recycled rubber for community projects. 5 remarkable young people are Junior Citizens of the Year. Eli Bartlett, Noah Capel, Kinley Hicks, and Katrine Skopik were presented with a medal and $3,000 bursary from Sask Power. Marianne Acorn received the STEM Award and received $3,000 bursary from the Crown Investments Corporation. To qualify for the award, recipients must be between 8 and 18, live in Saskatchewan, and inspire others in school and community.
Even at our ages, we can have so much impact on the world or on our community, and it's just good to be recognized for it. Even if I wasn't even expecting it, it just shows that hard work is rewarded.
This year is the 50th annual presentation of the Junior Citizen of the Year Award.
Now let's head back to Pilot Butte and check in with Janelle Lippi ahead of the Crocus Art and Artisan Sale. Good morning.
Good morning, Jeremy. That's right. We have made it into the rec center. This is where all the vendors are going to be hanging out this weekend. Brian is back with me now. Brian, not only art being sold, we've also got vendors who might even be doing art behind their own little table.
Yeah, no, there's usually 2 or 3 artists who are making art here as they're going along, just so they can show people the process, and it gives them something else to do, right, when they're in here. So yeah, it'll be fun.
All right. Well, this sounds like a lot of fun. Now, remind us again, for those who maybe missed it last hour, what are we all selling here? Tell me a little bit about the art.
Sure. So there's going to be a variety of artists here, from people who are painting, there'll be people who are knitting, there's mosaic artists, there's woodworking, sewing and handbags. There's going to be some vinyl print, some 3D printed art as well. Just a really good mix. People who turn pens and do other woodworking as well. So this is going to be a really good mix of artisans here. So
absolutely. Well, a great assortment of art. Now, you're an artist yourself. We've got your easel next to you here. Tell me a little bit about what you do for your work.
Okay, so this is going to be a charcoal drawing that I'm working on of an old Dodge truck. So I'll be working on it this weekend when I'm here, and get my hands dirty.
Absolutely. Brian, thank you so much. Again, for those who missed it, where can they come and enjoy this time?
Right, so we're in the arena in Pilot Butte at the Rec Complex, so 222 Diamond Place in Pilot Butte. Saturday, we're open from 10 o'clock until 5 o'clock, and Sunday from 12 o'clock until 4 o'clock.
All right, lots of excitement ahead. Thank you so much, Brian. All right, well, once again, that is this weekend. As that reminder, admission is completely free.
All right, wonderful. Janelle, thank you. We'll see you again in a little while.
It's May 29th, and we have a lot to celebrate. We'll start off with a belated anniversary wish going out to John and Minnie from North Battleford, marking 71 years yesterday. Congratulations, you two. A big happy birthday going out to Skylar. She's turning 34. Enjoy your day with love from your mom and all of your family and friends. Turning 8 years old today is Emmett. Have a great day with love from your mom, dad, Evan, Alyssa, Grandma Rain, Cookums, Christine, and Pat, and your cousins. We got this photo to wish Elaine a very happy 85th birthday. Best wishes from your husband, John, children, Malcolm and Lorianne, and your grandchildren, Alexa, Hudson, and Declan. Turning 92 years old is Elroy. Happy birthday to you with a ton of love coming your way from all of your family and friends. Here's a big one. Polly is marking her 100th birthday. Congratulations. Your family says they can't wait to celebrate you, including your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and your great-great-grandchildren. Amazing. Looking forward to the weekend now. Happy birthday to Mr. Wilfong. Enjoy your special day. This shout out coming from your work besties. A double happy birthday going out to these siblings who share a birthday of May 30th. Oakland will be 8 and Sully will be turning 1. Love coming from their mom, dad, and brother Scout. Celebrating on Sunday will be Grandma Debbie. Happy birthday to you. A ton of love coming your way from your family. And turning 90 years old on Sunday will be Vicky. This shout out coming from Brenda, Linda, Donna, and their families who are wishing you lots of joy and love for your special day.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
I imagine you haven't made anybody's Friday with $2,200.
No, we're at $23.50 now this afternoon for Brandon. We just got off the phone, Jennifer. She thought the sound was dropping boots or shoes onto the ground. That is not it. So another $50 in there. But 4:40 this afternoon with Brandon, that is your next chance to win some cash there. Don't forget, too, coming up with our Country Minute, we're going to talk about the new album from Riley Green. Gave us a little bit of details when that is going to be released. He's at Country Thunder, and they have the promo going today and tomorrow, where if you get your general admission passes, you're going to be automatically upgraded to platinum. So a nice deal to get in for that one. And then next week, too, we're going to give you a chance to win your way into Country Thunder with Off-Key for VIP. So you use the talkback feature with the iHeartRadio app and sing us any of your favorite Country Thunder artists, and you could win some tickets. So I'm guessing I'm going to have 90% of people singing Creed, and I am here for that.
Wow, they're 6 feet from the edge, you know.
Hold me closer.
Hold me closer. I'm going to do that. I got your direct line to your studio. I'm going to call you right now. See you later.
I am waiting. The Daryl Rummel Creed edition.
Here it comes.
The album we've been wanting.
Backup vocals from Kayleen.
The eyes of the world are upon you.
A D-Day movie is storming the box office this weekend. Brendan Fraser and Andrew Scott co-star in Pressure. ABC Audio spoke with Scott about portraying the Scottish meteorologist tasked with forecasting favorable conditions for the Allied invasion to Fraser's General Dwight D. Eisenhower.
I think it's very moving that both these people were like, they wanted to do the right thing by the world rather than show off their own, to peacock their own achievements.
Toy Story 5 premiered in London Thursday. The long-awaited Disney Pixar film explores toys competing with technology. Tom Hanks, who voices Woody, had this advice.
Here's how we can all protect ourselves from tech. Are you ready for this? Put it down. Turn it off. Do something else.
We call it Hoppers. Huh? Hoppers is making its way to Disney Plus next week. The Pixar comedy lands on the streamer on June 3rd. Disney is the parent company of Pixar, Disney Plus, and ABC News. And happy birthday to Spice Girl Mel B, who is 51 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. Jacqueline Lee, ABC News.
I love talking about decluttering because my wife won't do it. Here's a daughter trying to help.
The amount of lanyards you have, well, some of those are dog leash. Crazy. Beanie Babies. is. Do we need all these Beanie Babies, though? You don't need the McDonald's Beanie Baby. You've never unwrapped
Zero dogs was the part off the top that got me. This is a trend. It's called Swedish death cleaning, and the idea is that you go through and you clean out some stuff while mom and dad or whoever is still with us, and then you have less of a job down the road. But it's also just a good thing to do because we all have too much stuff.
I saw a video where a husband actually gave his wife a dumpster for Mother's Day, just like a rented dumpster for the day, and she could throw out anything she wanted to purge. And I sent it to my husband, and I said, I think this is what I want for my birthday, for Christmas. I just want to get rid of so many stuff.
Give me 90 minutes with my house unabated.
Yes, same.
I just want to throw so much stuff out.
You won't miss it if you don't know.
All right, we go now to a dad and daughter covering a classic, one of my favorites. Take a look.
Well, I've been afraid of changing 'cause I've built my life around you.
We all know the song, but it's Landslide by Fleetwood Mac. It's a casual bonding time for the two, who usually sing at their kitchen table together. How beautiful.
How many people out there watching right now are like, that's the Dixie Chicks?
Well,
or the Chicks now. The Chicks
No,
now, yes.
Fleetwood Mac.
Got to be politically correct. We're back after this. Finally Friday, May 29th.
Every other jurisdiction in Canada has an independent regulator.
The Saskatchewan NDP wants the province's rate review panel scrapped and replaced by a rate regulator.
What we're very excited about is the expansion of primary care, integrated team-based care to reach our goal where every Saskatchewan person will have access to a primary care team by 2028.
The SHA approving its budgets for the year.
I encourage all Canadians to go to getprepared.ca to learn how to protect yourself and your family, learn how to make an emergency plan and an emergency kit.
Federal officials say this year's wildfire season got off to a slower start than in 2025, but the risk does remain high. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Friday.
We saw that adorable video of your daughter cheering for the Blue Jays. What are you guys getting up to today in 35-degree temperatures?
Staying inside the entire time. I'm not a fan of the extreme heat, so I'm going to stay inside. But there are estate sales this weekend. And if you're having a garage sale, send me a message because I'm going to be there.
This sounds like personal appearance plug. Let's get to news. We start with wildfires. That's where we go. Federal officials say this year got off to a slower start, but the risk remains high, with most of Saskatchewan now under high to extreme fire danger. Federal Emergency Management Minister says hot, dry conditions are raising the risk of wildfires, with Environment and Climate Change Canada forecasting above normal temperatures across much of the country over the next 3 months. The minister says the federal government has leased 10 new aircraft to help support wildfire response efforts. She says the situation can change quickly and is urging you to be ready.
I encourage all Canadians to go to getprepared.ca to learn how to protect yourself and your family, learn how to make an emergency plan and an emergency kit.
There are 5 active wildfires burning in Saskatchewan. There are 8 flooding incidents. Now, most schools have an extreme cold policy. You know that, but we're learning that not many have a hot weather policy. Regina Public Schools says there might be one soon. It was sweltering in many towns and cities yesterday, as you know. The CEO says student safety is the #1 priority and measures could be put in place.
It's very difficult to learn in extreme heat, and we acknowledge that. We do have some things in place around portable fans. We do some things around turning lights off, moving students into cooling centers. For instance, many of our relocatables in libraries are air-conditioned. So we have some things in place right now, but I think this kind of heat is here to stay.
Schools that are 50 years and older are prone to high temperatures, of course, while modern ones have better air conditioning systems. Amnesty International Canada has announced it will make verbal arguments before the Supreme Court in the Saskatchewan school pronoun law case.
That's fine. I mean, they're an international organization. They're, I suppose, okay to, or it's within their realm to intervene in this case, as others will on both sides. However, at the end of the day, we're going to ensure as a province and in our provincial education system that schools are going to communicate with parents about, multiple different topics with respect to their children that are the students at those schools.
That was the Premier, Scott Moe, on this show this morning. He says his government is working to ensure information about kids is shared with their parents. The policy prevents children under 16 years of age from changing their names or pronouns they use at school without parental consent. There are now 22 organizations who have been granted intervener status. A date for the Supreme Court hearing has not yet been set. You can stream our full conversation with the Premier right now on our website. Prime Minister Mark Carney was selling Canada in New York with a message aimed directly at the president in Washington. Using a similar slogan that Americans seem to enjoy, favored by the president, Carney pledged Canada Strong would make America great again. Here's Graham Richardson.
In the heart of the world's financial capital, Prime Minister Mark Carney delivered his message that change has come to Canada. But it was this line that intentionally stole the show.
Canada Strong will help make America great again.
This was a message delivered to big money investors at the Economic Club of New York, but the line itself was designed to catch the attention of the audience of one at the White House. And it may have worked. Late today, U.S. Ambassador to Canada Pete Hoekstra repeated the line, tweeting, "I think a lot of Americans can get behind that kind of positive message." This now appears to be the first sign in months of a thaw in Canada-U.S. relations. Carney's speech was heavy on change in what he described as a new Canada.
That future should include a new partnership with Canada, a true partnership that reimagines cooperation in specific sectors that are deeply challenged by global competition, a partnership with a different Canada, a stronger Canada, a more confident Canada.
A different story from the opposition leader, accusing the Liberals and Carney of flip-flopping on the American relationship.
As he cannot seem to decide if integration with the U.S. is a strength or a weakness. He's argued passionately for both positions in the last 3 months alone.
Carney also spent significant time here on Canada's military spending, especially in the north, another move the Americans have been pressing for.
We did need to step up to take more responsibility for Arctic security. We're doing that now.
So Donald Trump's name wasn't mentioned specifically by Carney, but that wasn't necessary. That MAGA phrase that has inspired many Americans and insulted others was all he needed to suggest there was an olive branch from Canada. What will it mean heading into key trade talks next week in Washington? We'll soon find out. Graham Richardson, CTV News, New York.
Let's connect with Jeremy Dodge, who's taking us to Prince Albert this morning. JD?
Yeah, Daryl, a significant drug bust recently in Prince Albert, and says keeping drugs off the streets can help prevent future calls for assistance. Jasmine Peltier reports on this investigation.
The Prince Albert Police Service has made multiple arrests following a month-long drug trafficking investigation.
This is significant for the city of Prince Albert, and if you think about the impact that those drugs would have had in the coming months or days, significant.
The police service arrested 10 individuals and seized 2 kilograms of cocaine, 2 kilograms of methamphetamine, 2 handguns, an air pistol, and more than $70,000 in Canadian currency. The investigation focused on 22-year-old Dalen Laliberty, who police suspected was drug trafficking in the city. Search warrants were obtained for 3 residences in southwest Prince Albert, as well as a hotel room and a vehicle, resulting in the seizures.
We need to make sure that the community is comfortable in providing information, and that we will do what we can to ensure that there's no retaliation and or that there's no concerns about making sure we take the proper steps to combat illegal activity.
Laliberty and 5 other individuals are facing charges related to drug trafficking, including 3 youth under 18 years of age.
It is certainly troubling when we hear that youth are involved in that, into that capacity. Speculating in terms of why they're involved, I think that's a broader question, whether it's the family dynamics, social dynamic, things of that nature.
The investigation was conducted by the Crime Reduction Team with assistance from other units in the Prince Albert Police Service, the Saskatchewan Trafficking Response Team, and the Saskatchewan RCMP.
These results show the impact these specialized teams are having on community safety. And what we're seeing here today in Prince Albert, we have real, measurable results that are making a difference in people's lives.
The investigation remains ongoing and additional charges may follow. Jasmine Pelche, CTV News, Prince Albert.
Daryl, there is no sport exploding faster than pickleball in our province right now. Are you a pickleballer?
Well, how could I not be? It's a sweet sport with a sour name, JD, and new players are entering the scene all the time. Damian Smith with what's coming.
It's the final week of action at the Havana Center for the Queen City Pickleball Hub after Brant bought their location at the Real District in early May.
We could see the writing on the wall with Real that, our future was probably limited there.
Greenwood says they are a week away from finalizing the sale of their new building on Park Street. After a 3-year search, it's expected to open sometime in June. The new Park Street location will have 6 courts to start, potentially expanding to 9 depending on city bylaws and requirements.
There's a lot of stumbling blocks along the way. Court sizing is the most difficult thing to fit in an existing building.
Members like Paul LeGrand will miss the current location where he formed long-lasting memories.
It's very central, lots of parking, and that's one of the biggest things. And I met a ton of friends here through Queen City Pickleball and Pickleball Regina. It's just growing.
Greenwood says they have over 6,000 players at the Regina facility, and demand continues to grow. Last week, Pickler Canada signed a multi-unit development with Saskatchewan pickleball clubs to bring facilities to Regina and Saskatoon.
They've also been very successful in the markets they've opened so far, and they've been competing, successfully against people like me that might have been an independent.
The Saskatoon location is expected to open later this year. As for Regina, the Saskatchewan Pickleball Club is currently evaluating potential sites.
Things are expensive. Things are tough to find. Industrial warehouse vacancy is very, very low in Saskatchewan. Everybody that's trying to open pickleball facilities is in the exact same bind.
Before closing its doors, the Queen City Pickleball Hub will host the provincial tournament here at the Havana Center, running from Thursday to Sunday, attracting some of the province's top talent. Damian Smith, CTV News, Regina.
Where was he looking there? I don't know. 4-time Stanley Cup champion Claude Lemieux has died at the age of 60. News coming as a shock to his former teammates.
I was happy to see him on Monday, just to kind of talk about a little bit what he was doing. He was there with his 2 sons, so it's a big shock.
Lemieux was one of the torchbearers at the Habs playoff game just on Monday. In 1986, he won his first Stanley Cup with Montreal. He went on to win 3 more times and the Conn Smythe in 1995. Police found Lemieux's body in his family's furniture store in Florida. They say he died after taking his own life. He leaves behind his wife and 4 children. A UFC and WWE legend made his way to Regina Thursday. This is extremely rare. Check out this lineup. This was all to see Brock Lesnar. He was at the Emerald Park Home Hardware location for a meet and greet. Here's 40 seconds of cute kids saying they're excited to see him.
He's one of my first favorites. I'm a big fan. He's been wrestling for a long time, and cause he fought a whole bunch of guys that I don't like. I got my Brock Lesnar figure and I got my shirt.
He's such a big brand name wrestler. I did not expect him to come and do a meet and greet in somewhere small like Saskatchewan.
Name. He was there, by the way, if you're wondering, because he doesn't do a lot of these, to promote a product that he's selling, smoking bullets, which is a mix of aspen and birch pellets used for those who are regulars on the grill. Good day to do some barbecuing. Maybe if you need a new barbecue, it's the last code word We're going to have a winner next week.
It is. So listen up. This is your last chance. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is SAVE. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan that QR code on your screen. Enter SAVE with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest powered by Affinity Credit Union and Affinity for You. And if you haven't been entering that contest and you're just thinking, I want to hear Kayleen stop saying that, that's it. We're all done. Let's turn our attention outside now. We're still talking about some of those yellow and orange heat warnings in effect. So all those areas that are darker red, that's where we're seeing most of that warmth today. The higher risk that is coming with that heat. So again, make sure you're monitoring yourself and your loved ones, especially seniors and those who live alone, for symptoms of heat-related illnesses today. Outside in Regina, it's a beautiful start to the day. We're seeing a mix of sun and cloud, 22 degrees, and winds have been going up. They're now coming in at 43 kilometers per hour. In Saskatoon, 23 degrees, winds right now at 30 kilometers per hour. And again, a very beautiful mix of sun and cloud to start our day. Up north, temperatures are warming up quite a bit. It's not just that green color we're talking about anymore, it's that yellow and even some of those red colors there right around Nipawin, 26 degrees already, 25 in Melfort, 23 in Hudson Bay. Down in the south, 23 degrees in Saskatoon. As we mentioned, 22 in Moose Jaw, 22 in Assiniboia, and 24 in Estevan. So because we're seeing all of that heat later on this afternoon, I do recommend if you want to get outside today, the earlier the better, because these temperatures, again, really hot. 33 degrees in Prince Albert, 33 this afternoon for Saskatoon, 32 in Regina. That expected temperature in Yorkton has now gone down since last hour. We're expecting 29 degrees for Yorkton and Estevan today, 31 in Weyburn and 32 degrees in Swift Current. Now we are talking about some precipitation today later in the afternoon and into those evening hours. We have the risk of seeing some rather strong thunderstorms down through the southwest corner of the province. So if you're waking up with us from Swift Current, Maple Creek, any of those areas down there, make sure you're prepared for that storm on the way into those overnight hours and early tomorrow morning. You can see it just east of Prince Albert there. We're also tracking some storms into Saturday afternoon and Sunday afternoon as well, but not quite as strong as what we will be seeing in the weekend into Alberta. You can see a whole lot of that thunderstorm activity there. And yes, even some snow on the way, that purple color on the border with British Columbia. So no worries for us in terms of the snow, but yes, we are talking about the possibility of that thunderstorm activity. We're also talking about some warm temperatures, but falling to the high 20s for Saturday and Sunday in Regina and for Saskatoon as well.
Take a walk down memory lane. This day in history, May 29, 1914, the SS Empress of Ireland sank in dense fog on the St. Lawrence River near Rimouski, killing more than 1,000 people on board. May 29, 1985, Steve Fogno finished his cross-Canada marathon in Victoria after running for 14 months. May 29, 1953, Edmund Hillary and Sherpa Tenzing Norgay became the first people to reach the summit of Mount Everest. And
of a white Christmas.
1942, Bing Crosby records Irving Berlin's song White Christmas with John Scott Trottier Orchestra and the Ken Darby Singers. In just 18 minutes, it becomes the world's best-selling single with an estimated 100 million copies sold.
Okay, guys, so we know that owners and their pets sometimes dress alike. So how about owners and their robots?
Oh, tell me.
Oh,
no.
This is a fashion show in South Korea putting together people and robots in matching outfits. Do robots even need clothes?
I think they do.
Well, you
if they look like
this. Look indecent.
Yeah, I don't know.
When I have a robot, I want a modest robot.
And And sticking with that robot theme, this is a creation from the team of researchers in the U.S. They're calling it a new species of robots named Argus, headless, rolls along on 20 legs, and also has 20 cameras that allows it to see things in its path and react immediately to change direction. Now, Argus has been able to navigate sandy beaches, forest undergrowth, and they've been trying to use it in a simulated lunar gravity situation as well. So maybe Argus will end up in space.
Hope it can navigate me putting my foot through it, because that looks like a soccer ball.
That one's a little too naked for my eyes.
It would see you coming so quick and kick you back.
Yeah, it's probably made out of something. I break my foot, right? Yeah. Question of the day. We told you about Brock Lesnar coming to the Emerald Park home hardware location. People 2 hours. This is apparently a super rare thing. We thought, who would you stand in line to see?
We got a whole lot of love, you guys. People want to meet us, starting with Michelle B. But she does say that Janelle and I have to take our bikes home.
Thank you, Michelle, for supporting me and my cause.
Good advice.
Yeah. We also had answers coming in. John Bon Jovi, Kate Middleton, Celine Dion, Shawn Michaels, and that came in from Sheena C. Wow. Some more answers coming in.
It's a diverse list from Sheena.
Yeah, very diverse there. That was Kim at the top saying she wants to meet all of us. We love you, Kim, one of my favorite viewers.
We're going to at your barbecue/pool party.
Yeah, when there's margaritas. Buck saying he would wait for the Vegas Golden Knights.
Might be able to see him at their championship parade the way things are going.
Yeah, Sheldon saying us, but also WWE superstars John Cena and supporters, the Hardy Boys. Joni saying Bono.
Yeah, a lot of people would like to meet Bono.
Yeah, Trina from Estevan saying Eminem. I love that answer. I am a big Eminem fan.
Here's the question: do you want to meet them though? You know that old saying, "Never meet your heroes."
Yeah.
I met Garth Brooks, and I was like, "This better go well," and it did. I was very happy.
I won't name names, but there have been a couple celebrities I've met where I've been like, "Oh, that's what you're like."
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had Keith Richards' yet-to-be girlfriend write in saying she just wants to meet him before she becomes his girlfriend.
Better hurry.
Yeah.
Start as friends. Better hurry. He ain't going nowhere.
Here's a fun one. Bruno Mars. I feel like he'd be nice.
It'd be fun.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, there's a couple other answers there. Who else do we got on the big board here? We have Phil in Saskatoon saying he'd wait in line for his wife because, she's shopping.
Yeah,
wait for hours.
Designated waiting area for husbands and boyfriends.
Yeah.
Those benches.
Carrie Price says, well, best goalie ever. Gary M. in Regina saying Denzel Washington.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, and Heather saying Elton John.
That brings us to the end of this segment. We got more on the other side of this short timeout.
This morning, the outspoken queen of daytime TV, Rosie O'Donnell, revealing she's done something she once swore she'd never do, undergo plastic surgery. In a post shared Tuesday on her Instagram, Rosie posting before and after photos of a deep plane facelift she underwent in January. The comedian writing an essay on her Substack titled Decisions, where she says, quote, I used to feel very strongly about facelifts, not casually, morally. I thought it was a betrayal of feminism, of aging, of our team of women worldwide. But after revealing on TikTok she'd lost 50 pounds with the weight loss drug Mounjaro, I can't even really pronounce it. The 64-year-old says she started to see not just wrinkles, but gravity, adding in a quip harkening back to her stand-up comedy days. Quote, I'd look in the mirror and think, this isn't aging, this is melting with intention. Rosie revealing she quietly underwent the procedure while living with her 13-year-old child, Clay, who she says begged her not to do it. She joins a growing list of women aging in Hollywood who are no longer hiding it. Kris Jenner going public last year with her second facelift, and Denise Richards sharing before and after photos of her own.
The celebrities that are talking openly about their cosmetic surgery are telling women everywhere, you don't have to be ashamed. You can own the choices that you make. It's okay to do what you want to do, and you can be proud about it. You can talk about it. And you don't have to be embarrassed anymore.
Becky Worley, ABC News, Oakland, California.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Emerge Academy is an innovative Saskatchewan program that blends hockey training with education and Indigenous culture teachings. Joining me is founder and executive director. Cheryl has to explain how the Academy empowers the next generation of youth leaders on and off the ice. Good morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm pleased to be here.
Well, we are so excited. Let's start off with a little bit of an overview on what the Academy is all about.
All right. Well, in Langeberg, we are fundraising for a new arena. So I have a beautiful place. I can have 30 people in the building, no problem. So I thought, let's do this. We can have 26 boys. We can teach. Culture is led by traditional knowledge keeper, Wendell Starblanket. We can combine, we're trying to build a base for these boys that combine Western culture, their culture that's led by culture leaders, get the boys at a very vulnerable age, 15, 14 years old. We play AAA, AA hockey. Get them at that age where they're vulnerable. They're finding out who they are. Let's get them interested in many things on and off the ice. We're safe, we've got boundaries. It'll be a full year of fun and learning. That's what is, these boys could be catapulted ahead of other kids their age 5, 6 years, that when they're done with their hockey career, we've implemented, they know life skills. They know, we're going to introduce trades to them. They're going to be doing cooking. They're going to be involved in time management, fiscal management. Just everything we had to learn when you're an adult and had to learn the hard way. So our program is designed all around that. Get these boys safe, get them interested in other things at an age where maybe they're fiddling around and finding out leads them to very, very, just things that are hard to, you don't want to put the boys behind an 8 ball. So
right.
That was my whole idea behind it. So,
all right, if somebody's looking for a little bit more information, how can they do that?
Our website is theemergeacademy.ca, and they could go there. My information is on there, my telephone number, and they could email me at info@theemergeacademy.ca. And we are looking for corporate sponsorships, and our whole mandate has met all of the TCR, the education, youth, culture, and 10 months. Our boys are with us for 10 months. So the sponsorship, they will be recognized, and that's maybe one day some of these companies that are looking for boys that are looking for skilled workers, I've introduced that to them at this age. So they are now using that and growing along with the hockey to be, when they're done playing hockey, they have another road to go down. Right. So corporate sponsors, check out my website.
Very important, Cheryl.
Yes.
Thank you so much for spending some time with me this morning.
Well, thank you, Janelle. I appreciate that. And happy belated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Tasayani, good morning. It is 8:31. My weekend is 29 minutes away. Let's get to some news before we get to that. We now know the exact wording of the question on separation people in Alberta will vote on in October. Voters will be asked to pick one of two options. Option 1 reads, Alberta should remain a province of Canada. Option 2 says the government of Alberta should commence the legal process required under the Canadian Constitution to hold a binding provincial referendum on whether or not Alberta should separate from Canada. It's the same as the initial announcement by the Premier of that province earlier this month. The referendum question will be the first out of 10 questions in the referendum on October 19th. And speaking on our program last hour, Premier Scott Moe provided his thoughts on the referendum.
those very frustrations that have built over the last 10 years, those are very real in other parts of the nation. I'd say they're very real here as well. However, and the point I tried to make throughout this meeting was there are some changes that are being made today by the current Prime Minister. They may not be fast enough, or they might not be far enough, and I'll be the first to say they're not exactly what I would like to see, but they're far better than what we have seen over the last decade, and we need to, in the Canadian way, work together with him and other provinces to try to get our province into a position where we can continue the economic success that we are seeing here today.
You can view our full conversation right now on our websites. The Saskatchewan Health Authority held a public board meeting in Yorkton approving its budgets for the year. The budget includes $5.5 billion in operating expenses, which is a 5.05% increase over last budget. For capital projects, the SHA approved more than $596 million, supporting equipment and facility improvements. SHA says the investments ensure healthcare workers and providers can have the capacity and resources they need to deliver high-quality care across the province. The focus of this year's budget is expanding local care, including capacity building, improving access to surgery, and enhancing emergency response.
What we're very excited about is expansion of primary care, integrated team-based care to reach our goal where every Saskatchewan person will have access to a primary care team by 2028.
The next public meeting will be held in September. Saskatoon's first Cree school is celebrating a major milestone. Laura Woodward reports.
Students and staff of Wekotowin School host a powwow to celebrate a milestone. The school is marking its 50th anniversary and 20 years of its Cree language and culture program.
We are all connected.
The school's principal says the celebration is a powerful reminder of how far Indigenous language and culture have come in the classroom.
There was a time in our history where you wouldn't be allowed to have a powwow at a school. And so this is very exciting.
12-year-old Sakita Wynn says dancing helps her connect with her culture.
It brings me through my relationship with my family and my culture. Makes me feel very connected.
Dancers, drum groups, and students from across the city took part in the celebration, embracing the school's name, Wekotowin, a Cree word that refers to kinship and being related to one another.
It makes me really proud. It actually brought tears to my eyes because this is the first annual look around. It's so beautiful, so many people. The kids are happy, they're proud.
Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Canada's top men's soccer players anxiously awaiting tonight's news of who will represent the country at the 2026 FIFA World Cup.
So many players would love to be in this position right now. So with those nerves, it's a little bit of a blessing as well that your name is going to be one of the ones considered in that selection.
Canadian defender Derek Cornelius sharing his thoughts from camp in Charlotte, North Carolina. TSN's Matthew Shinetti says the impact of the World Cup should be felt across Canada and here in Saskatchewan.
I've been speaking to people involved in Saskatchewan soccer and the infrastructure in the province and how much a home World Cup not only generates obviously love in the game, and you can see the energy at the grassroots level, but we're seeing so much investment now starting to trickle in sports in this country, and you hope a long run will really go ahead and induce not only obviously the provinces but perhaps others to really continue to that work at building infrastructure, because a World Cup, a home World Cup, doesn't just do wonders for the team that's playing in it, the players in the national program. It's supposed to be something that benefits the entire country, and this is what I'm really excited about, because our country is so big, and yet soccer, if you go across the country, and I've spoken to coaches across this country, it is such an important game at the grassroots level.
That roster reveal will be on CTV, TSN, and Crave tonight at 5 o'clock. You can stream our full conversation with Matthew right now on our website as well. Now to a video of a Florida traffic stop gone viral after a police officer accused a woman of holding a phone with her right hand while driving. The driver showing why that isn't possible. Aaron Katersky reports.
This is the moment back in February a Palm Beach County Sheriff's deputy pulls over Kathleen Thomas as part of a crackdown on distracted driving.
You drove past me holding the phone with your right hand, manipulating that phone. I mean, I saw you with the phone in your hand.
Not. The deputy's body-worn camera shows Thomas raising her arm to prove to the deputy she doesn't have a right hand.
So you want to just call this a day?
The deputy persists.
You had a hand manipulated.
You just said my right hand.
Well, I thought I saw you with your right hand. You had a hand out. The right hand. I saw you manipulate.
So you didn't.
With the right hand, perhaps not, right?
The deputy is unmoved.
So are you
saying that you saw me with my right hand?
I know what I just said. I know what I just said. I'm asking you now. Did you or not have your phone on your hand?
I did not.
You did not have your phone in your hand?
I did not.
Hand to God, you didn't have a phone in your hand?
Hand to God.
The other hand to God, you didn't have a phone in your hand?
Hand to God.
Cool.
Despite her denials, Thomas was given a $116 ticket for using her phone while driving. She turned to social media to talk about why she contested it.
A few weeks ago, I got pulled over for driving with a device in my right hand that clearly doesn't exist, and we went to court.
The post racking up millions of views on Instagram and TikTok. This week, the ticket was thrown out. The deputy requested dismissal due to lack of evidence. The Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office says in this particular case, the deputy initiated a traffic stop based upon his visual observation at the time of the incident. After additional review of the Florida state statutes involved and based upon the totality of the circumstances, the decision was ultimately made to dismiss.
You guys, I cannot make up the reason behind why it was dismissed. It says lack of evidence. Bruh, we knew that already.
Aaron Katursky, ABC News, New York.
Learning moment, I suppose, Kayleen.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do? The evidence is right there.
Yeah, pretty visual. Also visual today, those records that have been falling over the last couple of days.
Yeah, so we're talking about some of those maximum temperature daily records. So this is for May 28th, yesterday, what we were taking a look at across the province. I'm going to show you 8 of the records that were broken, but there were almost 24 in communities across the province. Nipawin reached 37.5 degrees. The previous record was back in 1936. Hudson Bay and Melfort both reached 36.6 degrees yesterday. Watrous 36.4. Also beating some of their daily maximum records. Rosetown 36.1. Joining them at that temperature was Saskatoon, beating out that previous record from 1936. That was a hot year. That was also the record for Outlook. They beat out their record though, 36.0 degrees yesterday. Moose Jaw reaching 35.9. It is going to be a hot day today, just not quite as hot as what we saw yesterday. I wouldn't exactly call this relief though by any means. We still have yellow and orange level heat warnings across the province. 33 degrees today for Prince Albert, 33 for Saskatoon, 32 for Regina, 32 degrees in Swift Current this afternoon, and 29 degrees expected for Estevan and Yorkton as well. We're also talking about some fairly strong wind gusts down through the southeast corner of the province. If you remember yesterday, we were talking about the winds gusting there as well. Today, it's actually going to be even windier, if you can believe it. So all those areas lighting up in red could be seeing gusts up to about 70 kilometers per hour today. It's right along that border with Manitoba there. We are going to be seeing some stronger winds in the southwest as well, but it's not going to be until later on in the evening where we do have a risk of a thunderstorm moving in. Regina, we do also have that risk for us as well. It's not quite as high, but overnight we do have that chance of seeing some rain, risk of a thunderstorm. 28 degrees tomorrow, so we do see temperatures falling in quite a few places down to those high 20s, still above that seasonal average. 26 degrees on Sunday with that risk of the thunderstorm returning and carrying us into Monday with that high of 22 degrees. The chance of seeing those strong thunderstorms goes down after Monday for Regina, at least. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, just a chance of seeing some rain with those highs of 21 degrees. In Saskatoon, the risk of a thunderstorm does start tonight. Carries us into Saturday afternoon, 29 degrees, 27 on Sunday, and 25 on Monday. All of those days with that risk of the thunderstorm. A chance of some drizzle on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and temperatures falling to 20 degrees by the end of our 7-day forecast.
I'm Omar Sachedina. Tonight,
what's it like to defend against Messi? It's a nightmare.
How one of Canada's fastest rising stars outran adversity on and off the pitch. Tonight on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
All right, let's check in with Janelle Lippi once more in Pilot Butte as preparation begins for tomorrow's Crocus Art and Artisan Sale.
Good morning. I am joined once again by Brian. We have made it into the rec center here in Pilot Butte where the event is being held. Now, it's not just a big day for artists themselves. We also have some youth vendors expecting to make their appearance over the weekend.
Yes, we're very fortunate and proud to be able to sponsor some youth 18 and under so they can have their wares here as well. So we have 6 youth vendors as well this year. Who from artist to crochet that get to have their booth here at no charge so they can get a taste of what it's like to be an artist and sell their product.
That sounds very exciting, and I'm sure they're thrilled about this. Now, what does it mean for you as an artist to be able to support these youth?
Oh, you know what? It's so important to promote the arts and get the young people interested in doing art and understanding what it's like to be in the field and doing that. So that's great.
All right. Well, that sounds amazing. Now, we do have some art behind us as well from the school. Tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. We've also partnered with the school, so every classroom had the opportunity to create art and have it on display at our event here as well this weekend. So they're excited to have their art and showcase it, and a little bit of a prize for the winning teams. You can come down and vote for whichever classroom you think is your favorite as well, and then whichever classroom has the most votes gets a little prize at the end. So.
Wow, so really exciting stuff then. This weekend is going to be fantastic. Brian, thank you so much for having us out this morning.
Oh, thank you.
All right, well, that does wrap things up for us, but once again, this art sale is Saturday and Sunday. Admission is completely free.
Martin lost control, goes into the backcourt. Dines chased up with the left, making it look easy.
It's home opener weekend for the Saskatoon Mambas. They get set to take on the Winnipeg Sea Bears at SaskTel Center. Jason Ribeiro is the owner of the club and joins us live this morning. Jay, thanks so much for taking a couple of minutes on an exciting day for Mamba basketball.
Thanks so much for having me.
What does it mean to have this home opener, and especially to welcome Winnipeg to town, which is a pretty historic rival for all teams in this province?
Yeah, it's long awaited, right? Like, I think it's hot. We're ready to come inside, get a little bit of a reprieve in Saskatoon and take in some great basketball. Obviously, a long stint on the road in preparing for this home opener, but couldn't be more excited. I think the fan base is excited and you can feel it. It's palpable, but certainly for our staff, who I think have been working, through the night, through the weeks, getting ready for this moment. It'll be exciting.
You got a lot going on too, including a new jersey. We're going to throw that up on the screen. Tell us the inspiration behind this unit.
Yeah, look, I think, wanted to do something with a little bit of a snake print on it. Obviously wanted to take a little bit of a spin on Saskatchewan green and have it be a little bit more of a neon vibe. And then you see Easton Tim, right? Local Huskies kid, proudly wearing, the Saskatoon Mamba blazoned on his chest. Like, we feel really proud of the fact that this is going to resonate with youth, connect with locals in Saskatchewan. But most importantly, I think continue that sort of venomous connection to the snake motif that we have throughout our jerseys and throughout our brand.
Connecting with youth, you're bringing in Chase, Rebel, Rocky, the Paw Patrol.
All my friends, look at all this. Yeah, May 31st will be a Paw Patrol game, and that's an incredibly meaningful thing. And it sounds cliche, but this is really about youth. That's why we acquired the team. It's why we've made the changes that we've made. It's why we started with a partnership with the Saskatoon Public School Division and the foundation to bring thousands of youth to our first game before welcoming the general public later tonight. But, to be able to do this, to debut another jersey on Sunday, our Paw Patrol jersey, but to have a jersey auction and all the proceeds go back to Jim Pattison Children's Hospital Foundation just shows you these are intentional things that we can do. We can build community, we can build connections with youth, and we can do some good while we're at it, while hopefully winning some basketball games.
All right, now let's talk basketball. We know about the Saskatchewan Rattlers, what they brought to the hard court. What are the Mamba going to bring tonight when they face the Winnipeg Sea Bears?
Yeah, look, I think you're going to see a lot of youth, and I think, no pun intended in terms of our focus on youth from a fan base perspective, but you're going to see some real exciting play. you're going to really see some antsy energy. And I think in the first kind of couple of games, it's been about finding our way, finding our discipline, limiting turnovers. But I got to tell you, the confidence that some of these guys have, you know, the Mamba lead the entire CEBL in 3-point percentage because they're able to call their shot, take it really decisively, and it's led to good things. I think we're the 4th highest scoring team yet, so it's still early. A lot of teams are still settling. I can proudly announce that, you know, one of the leaders of this franchise, Jaden Bediako, will be in the lineup, a longtime Rattler, and we look forward to welcoming, you know, another familiar face from the Rattlers organization on Sunday. So I think we feel really confident. We match up well against Winnipeg, so I think we'll have the advantage and upper hand on home turf.
I love your passion and your enthusiasm you bring to the organization and the sport. Thank you so much for doing this. We'll do it again soon.
Thanks for having me. Go Mamba.
Hey, it's Chase with Pure Country Mornings, back to count down to this week's top 5. He's down another spot, but still holds on in the top 5. Luke Combs, Sleepless in a Hotel Room, starts us off. Sleepless in a hotel room. Riley Green also dropping a spot. Change My Mind lands at number 4 this week. So change my mind. Tucker Whitmore, the only one to actually move up in the countdown. He is up to number 3 with Brunette. I need to find me a brunette. Another week as runner-up for Jordan Davis with Turn This Truck Around. Don't make me turn this truck around. And make it back-to-back weeks for Ella Langley. She is number 1. Your top song, once again, is Be Her. I just want to be her so bad. Thanks for counting down this week's top 5 with us. Catch all of these and the rest of your favorites with Pure Country 92.7. You can find us, you can stream us with the free iHeartRadio app.
It was a reunion above the clouds for a teacher and former student.
Yeah, CTV's Mike Walker has the story of a pilot and the elementary school teacher who inspired him to reach new heights.
Perfect weather in Toronto as lake wind is out of the south.
What started out as a routine announcement from WestJet pilot Michael Sartor on a flight from Winnipeg to Toronto
Often a teacher that inspired and motivated. For me, that was Ms. Carvello.
Turned into a surprise shout out to a passenger and his former teacher.
I just burst into tears, and then people started cheering, which I thought was so beautiful.
Daphne McMinamy taught Sartor grades 3 and 4 in Brampton 18 years ago. A teacher he credits not only for his success in school, but also his career as a pilot.
I was never the best student as a younger boy, and she was kind of the first teacher who really inspired me. She motivated me. She was the one to say, yes, you can do this. You could accomplish really anything you want to do, and that stuck with me.
A dream he shared with his teacher when he was only 8 years old.
He was in the Air Cadets, I remember, and he talked about being a pilot from the jump. And today, there's his plane.
This was a special flight that came by chance. The two kept in touch through Sartor's parents throughout his school career and as he embarked on his dream job. McMinamy, who flies frequently for her teaching job, had always hoped to see her former student in his element.
Every time I would fly anywhere, I would send him a message to say, hey, I'm at the airport, never expecting to actually be on a flight with him.
Finally, it just ended up working where I was able to bid for a flight that she was able to book.
A proud moment.
I still see Michael as the 8-year-old that I taught. And so to see him in that space was just such a beautiful thing that he'd kind of made this dream that he had come true.
Without her as my teacher, I don't think I would have been able to accomplish what I have.
On a special flight, both say they will always cherish. Mike Walker, CTV News.
That inspires a new question of the day, right? We can ask teachers that inspired us to do different
things. I could spend the rest of the 5 minutes of this show talking about teachers who inspired me. I had the best teachers.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our sidebar for this final Friday. Talk about teachers, or we can talk about this cat at the Moose Jaw Humane Society earning recognition for his resemblance to a Toronto Blue Jays pitcher. What? This is Max Scherzer, an adorable adoptable from the Humane Society. Now the feline earning his name because he has, how do you say that?
Heterochromia.
Heterochromia. Just like his major league namesake, Max Scherzer, pitcher famously has a brown left eye and a right blue eye. How about that?
Okay.
So if you want a new cat, you're a Blue Jays fan,
well,
maybe this is one for you for the
maybe
Max
can hop on a plane between games and come on.
Can he throw a fastball? They need some help in the bullpen.
Yeah.
All right, well, Pope Leo may be trading in his Pope-mobile around.
No, say it ain't so.
Yeah, Pope Leo had the chance to get behind the wheel of a Ferrari, a new electric vehicle called the Luce.
Yeah.
Ferrari didn't give Pope Leo a car, but they did present him with the Luce steering wheel.
You can't have the car, you can have this one part.
Yeah. He has a bit of a
on.
reputation as a gearhead, though, so he used to do his own repair as well, serving as a missionary in Peru.
Well, I guess where's he going to drive it? Can he drive at this point? Like, is he allowed to just go for a cruise?
I mean, if you're the Pope, I think somebody's always willing to drive you.
But sometimes you just want to go for a cruise.
Seems like a well-protected type of job. Jeremy, what do you got for us?
All right, this is something that goes way beyond the rare books section at your local bookstore. Check out this King Arthur manuscript. It's been in private hands for more than 700 years, but now it's going up for sale. They're expecting $3.8 million Canadian. They say it was written between 1290 and 1310 and is part of a larger valuable books and manuscripts auction happening in July at Christie's. Wow.
Well, we'll put a bookmark in that. We'll leave you with these adorable corgis from this past weekend in Saskatoon and some of the fine work these folks put on to make this show happen.